Hey Never, how's it going? Looks like everything's pretty stable on the stream side. Might be a little bit of a delay, but I think it's okay. Alright. Zero drop frames, I love to see it. Now let's see, let's talk about what happened last week to get caught up for this week. Last week we spent some time with Arnav Barnum, the whole time actually, with him and Cersei. So we started with Arnav was really trying to buckle down and get started on his mermaid hunt, if you will. He's really trying to actually find like a living, breathing mermaid. I don't think he really cares which kind, but I think he prefers the mostly human kind, because there's like the whole like just has a human face, and then there's like the half human, half fish ones. So we start off by looking at all the research that he has gathered over time. And the key point that we find out is that Arnav comes from a family who, I think his grandmother or something, some older person in his family, left behind a bunch of artifacts that have to do with things like UFOs and cryptids and stuff like that, because they're a person who was very interested in that kind of thing. And so Arnav grew up like watching, or not watching, but looking at these things and thinking about them, and so he became very obsessed with that kind of stuff, and he kind of brings it into his writer career. So one of the items that his ancestor had is this mummified mermaid thing, and it was believed to be fake, and it came from Japan, and Japan apparently is known for having the most high quality mermaid mummies or whatever. So it was like a really high quality one is the point. So one day before he starts this whole adventure, kind of like what gets him to start it, is he decides to see if it's real or not. So he decides to crack it open. So he opens up the mummy to see what's inside and see if it's like paper mache or whatever. And I think he found that it was fake, but the interesting thing is that he found a really old map inside of it, and it had some message on there and some dots on the back. So it was basically like a little cipher that we had to figure out, and once we figured it out, we found out that it was pointing to a specific spot in the ocean in Issei Bay. So that's what brought Arnav here in the first place. So knowing that location, Arnav wants to investigate it, but he's not a diver. So we meet this guy who says he knows Ama divers. So we talk to him, and we get him to hire an Ama diver for us to go out to that spot and do a dive and kind of see if they can find anything. It's kind of like a survey. But I think like after a day, they end up contacting him again, and it turns out the Ama diver never came back. They went out by themselves to go dive, which I think is a really bad idea for safety reasons. But anyway, so they never come back. So Arnav and Cersei get on a boat and decide to go investigate for themselves that location. So they go out there and they find a boat just floating there, which was the Ama diver's boat, just empty. So they investigate, and they find that inside of a bucket, it's hanging off the side of the boat, like, where they would put like the fish and everything that they catch. They find this small metal box that has a symbol on it that matches a symbol that was on the map that Arnav had. So it seems this is the object that the map was trying to point to, but they have no idea where the Ama diver went. So we had to solve a puzzle in order to open the box, but once we get the box open, we find this little wooden figurine inside. It's like this thing that looks like two fish kind of like thrashing about next to each other, and it's made out of wood. So we determine it's an old curse stone, and I can't remember what the curse was called, but it's like I might actually be able to look that up. It turns people into fish if they're in the water. The curse of the Forsaken Fish, yeah. So it turns people into fish if they're in the waters near Taishima, I believe. Let's just read it really quick. The curse born from the final moments of Hayase, a mermaid, brutally tortured to death by humans on Taishima around 400 years ago. The curse has the power to kill any human submerged in the waters of Issei Bay by gradually turning them into a fish, starting from their feet. However, the excruciating pain suffered during the transformation often results in them dying before the metamorphosis is complete. The bodies of those who have succumbed to the curse decay almost instantly, shriveling up into desiccated, fibrous masses. The curse can also be triggered remotely, providing that the curse bearer knows their victim's exact location. Mermaids inherently possess the ability to turn humans into fish at will. The curse of the Forsaken Fish is the result of that ability being turned into a conditional curse and sealed within a curse stone. which we can get to that in a second. So we find this curse stone, and as Arnav's holding it, he ends up having this vision of, it looks, I guess this would be Hayase, which is like actually like a mostly fish mermaid, looks like. Maybe they can like transform or something, I'm not sure. But anyways, he sees this vision of this ghost of this mermaid, and he gets like all of these memories essentially just downloaded from Hayase and from the curse stone or whatever. And so he all of a sudden knows exactly what happened on Taishima all those years ago. He knows exactly how Hayase was tortured and what became of the island and the other two mermaids. And so what he learns, just try to broad strokes it a little bit, is there is the island of Taishima. It was kind of like oversaw by this, what do you call it? Like a person of power, we'll just say, like with political power in some way. And he was using this island to try to safe harbor the mermaids, so the mermaids wouldn't be like torn apart and eaten by his brother or just other family members, I don't remember if it's brother or not, who were at war at the time. And they loved the idea of becoming or having an immortal army as well as becoming immortal themselves, so that they could like easily conquer everyone. So in order to protect the mermaids, he had them secretly hidden on this island of Taishima, unknown to anybody. There also happened to be a princess there who was hiding out as well, and he was keeping her safe there as well. And so one day, the family member of that guy ends up finding out that the mermaids are there, and so he sends like one of his men out to go just completely ravage the island, steal the mermaids so that they can eat them. So they go to the island, and two of the mermaids, like as they realize they're being taken over or whatever, invaded, two of the mermaids end up going off with the princess and escaping successfully. One of the mermaids stays behind to sort of like distract them and do what she can, and that was Hayase. And then Hayase ends up getting captured there, and they torture her, trying to, I guess, find where the other mermaids are, try to figure out like the nature of how to become immortal and all this stuff. And she refuses to tell them any of this stuff, and they torture her as a result of that. And they end up trying to eat her, and that's when her like resentment and the curse ends up activating, and she creates that curse stone by turning all of the men who were eating her into fish, and then thus like imbuing the curse into the curse stone there. And while the men are there, torturing Hayase, they're also just destroying the entire island, I believe, and they're like killing everyone on the island so that there's no like witnesses or anything, I guess, or whatever. They're just being brutal because, I don't know, it's ancient Japan. And that somehow triggers or like upsets the okay, I guess I didn't explain it before, but below Taishima, it's believed that there's the entrance to Ryugu, which is where the mermaids actually come from, which is like another realm in a way, like a realm of like gods or something like that. I'm not sure. It's just like where the mermaids and these supernatural things come from. And that being there and all this stuff happening and all this resentment from all the people who were being murdered by these soldiers all kind of come together and create like this huge storm phenomenon that's like in the curse form, and it ends up sinking the entire island. So that's how the island sinks. It's sort of like Ryugu trying to punish all of the army men, or like the soldiers and everything, for what they're doing to all these people on this island and to the mermaids. And so it creates this horrible situation where there's this insane storm that nobody can get close to, and the two other mermaids and the princess, they kind of like, they either knew this guy before, or they end up meeting this Omnimoji, which is like a magician kind of guy, and with his help, they figure out a way to try to stop the curse or calm the curse or something, to protect the area. And it's going to require a sacrifice. So the princess decides to sacrifice herself in order to stop the curse. But the Onimoji knows that it's only going to last 400 years. So he does all this stuff where he creates that little metal box and puts the curse stone in it. And then he like does some sort of magic stuff to it, let's just say, to make it to where like whoever opens the box will know how, like, what to do. Because the curse is too strong now to stop. But the Onimoji believes in 400 years it should like calm down enough and be weak enough that it can actually be dispelled. So he kind of gives the instructions to this box. So that's a part of what Arnov ends up kind of downloading when he opens it. And so he knows that in order to actually completely dispel the curse, he needs a person that's a descendant of Taishima, which Yuza's mom was, we found out. And we also need the bronze mirror that was owned by the person who was sacrificed, the princess. And they need this curse stone. All three of these things need to be present, I believe, where Taishima was, or maybe it was at the point where this thing was buried. I can't remember exactly which. But I'm not sure what they have to do. I don't remember if Arnov actually specified that, or if he's keeping that from other characters in the game. But we know that he knows what to do, and that it involves these three components. And so, kind of looking back in the story, I believe that maybe Yuza's mother was trying to kind of get ahead of herself and trying to figure out how to do it by herself, because she knew that she was a descendant, and she knew that it was only 5 years until the 400 years would be up and the curse would be back in like its most powerful form. So she went out there with the mirror and tried to do something, but she just ended up dying to the curse of the raging waves anyways. So the Yuza got saved by a mermaid. We know that he saw like a mermaid figure in the water. We don't know what mermaid that is, but just, you know, kind of reminding ourselves that this is kind of what happened. So now Yuza is now effectively the only descendant of Taishima, so he's the only one who can actually do this now. But Arnov hadn't learned that yet. He ends up meeting Yuza later, so I imagine since he knows this when he meets Yuza, he must be thinking about that, you know, because he ends up finding out that Mare was his mother. All right, let's see, what else did we learn? I think that's kind of the main gist of everything that we learned. There was, you know, there's a lot more details about like the ancient stuff, but I think for broad strokes wise, for what we need to know going forward, I think it's pretty much what we know. Let me see, where are we on the timeline? I think next they're gonna go to oh no, that's right. Okay, so another thing that Arnov finds is he meets this guy. I can't remember what his name is, but he's like this businessman who's apparently like he's trying to like drum up what do you call it, tourism in Issei. So that's like his job, but he's like a one-man company, so he's kind of suspicious in that way, because he's the CEO, but he's also the only employee of this company that's trying to like figure out how they can like spruce up the area to get more people to want to come and visit. And but he's also really interested in these mermaids things, and so he's the one that helps Arnov like hire this Ama diver, right? So once Arnov finds all this stuff, he feels like he owes it to this guy to go and tell him some of this information, because he's interested in knowing, and he helped him get the Ama diver out there. But another thing we know about this guy is that he knows this person who I think he even exposes is a descendant of Taishima, but he won't tell Arnov who the person is, and he won't, like, he doesn't seem to offer up like letting Arnov meet this person, but he really wants to. And oh man, I can't remember the small detail, but I think through talking with him, I think maybe Cersei does something or something where they figure out who this person is, or maybe they finally do convince him to meet this person. But either way, that's kind of like their next goal, is they really want to meet this person who's apparently a descendant of Taishima, because this is the person who taught this businessman some of this information, because he seemed to know about the three mermaids and stuff like that. And so he offered Arnov that information and the help with the Ama diver. So obviously he's got some insider information, and we need to know that as Arnov to be able to maybe find our mermaid we're looking for. So I believe where we're at now is Arnov now has like a lead on who this person is and is trying to locate them. And I believe it's going to bring him to Kamishima, but I can't remember exactly if that was there yet. But they have talked about maybe going to Kamishima because of it's so close to Taishima Island, or where it was. I don't remember the exact details there, but I'm sure we'll get reminded by the story itself. So this is where we're going to start today, is the descendant and duty. So the descendant being the person that we're trying to find from Taishima. And yeah, these are the two that we covered last week. So hopefully we'll make some good progress today. These were very long, but it was very cool and interesting information. So, but I am excited to get back to the tragedy of Kamishima. This is where I had ended, I think, 2 weeks ago, where there's some piece of information we're still looking for. We need to keep in mind that is like the sign of who could be using the whatever curse it is that someone's using to use the samurai to murder people on Kamishima, because we've had a few scenes where we've seen a bunch of people being murdered, including Yuza. Yuza gets his head chopped off. So that's freaking crazy. But we need to figure out what the clue is, or the sign, or I can't remember exactly how it was worded, because it actually just presents us with a text box to type in the answer. So I gotta know what it is if I'm gonna do that. There's not even a multiple choice. so that's what we're kind of looking for. I'm thinking it's either going to be in Arnav's, or I guess it could be in this Yumiko memory as well. Because Yumiko we haven't seen in a while, but she's a pretty interesting character who works for the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, and has found like this mermaid, desiccated mermaid body, who we believe to possibly be Made, Yuza's mother. But that would make it so that the person that Arnav is looking for, it would be Yuza's mother. So it would mean that she survived, but then like abandoned her son and became like this kind of like crazy person in a way, and has been living on the mainland for some time. But yeah, so there's some things that we're kind of putting together. We only think that this was Yuza's mother because of the drawing that I think Oda, I can't remember his name is. He's the paranormal guy with Yumiko. He has this ability to like use human remains and be able to draw like a very detailed picture of the person, and it looked like Yumiko, or sorry, it looked like Made, which is Yuza's mother. And Made's maiden name was Somikawa, and that is the name that we know of this descendant that Arnav is going after. We know that their last name is Somikawa. So those are kind of how the pieces fit, and let's go ahead and get to it. I think that's a pretty good breakdown. Get a little coffee after all that. All right, Descendant and Duty, Arnav Barnum. Summary of previous events. The Tamete Bako, a treasure required to obtain immortality. Avi assumes that the descendant of Taishima, whom Ikoma knows, Ikoma, that's his name, that's the businessman that I was talking about, has inherited it. He tries to scheme a way to meet him. And I forgot about that. The Tamete Bako is this little wooden box. I don't think we really know what's inside of it, but it's linked to the mermaids, because there's this old tale about this man who rode a turtle to the bottom of the ocean and was greeted into Ryugu by this mermaid priestess. And he hung out there for a while, and then when he left, they gave him this little wooden box, and they told him to never open it. And so he, carried it with him, and it was brought back to the surface, back to where his home was. But when he came back there, his home was completely gone. There was nothing there anymore, and it turns out it had been like 200 years. And so he was just like, super sad about it, I guess, and like super depressed. And so he ends up like opening the box, and when he opens the box, like I think some vapor comes out, and he ends up like aging rapidly into the age that he would have been if he wasn't at Ryugu that entire time, and then dies. And that box is the Tamete Bako. So there's something about that box that I think links to all this stuff. Maybe it was one of the pieces that was required for the despelling. I don't remember, but we're about to learn more about it, I assume, if Arnav can find this descendant of Taishima and actually get to talk to her. But we'll see how that works out, because this will link to Yumiko, because I remember at one point Yumiko does meet the Somikawa person, and she's trying to like hunt her down the next day when they find out that something about her, that's how she's linked or whatever, and they want to ask her more questions. But it turns out she leaves on this boat with somebody, and then all of a sudden Cersei had popped up. That's where we first met Cersei, and she was like using her psychic powers to like paralyze Yumiko and Oda has to kind of best her with his powers. So we know something happens here, and that they somehow must be linked up with Somikawa, because Cersei seemed to be trying to stop Yumiko from pursuing her. So I assume this is going to be linked to that. So let's find out. Toba City, Ichika Town. Hello again. Arnav Barnum's back on the scene. Allow me to summarize. As expected, Ikoma contacted us today, telling us we'd have to wait a little longer before we could meet the descendant. It's funny, it's like he's talking to us as the audience. He's just kind of like a weird guy. He's the only one that does this. Because I think it's him being like a fantasy writer. He kind of just acts this way. Thus, figuring we had no intention of letting us meet her anyway, we decided to use Cersei's ability to go looking for the descendant ourselves. Oh, that's right. Now I think I remember what Cersei did. Cersei has this ability of dowsing, but it's like not dowsing like the regular way of like finding water with a stick. It's dowsing in that she can find things that are paranormal or have paranormal energies to them, but she has to know the nature of the paranormal entity, and the stronger it is, the easier it is for her to find it. So she gave Ikuma something to give to Somikawa that she can track. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something that she can track. So with her ability of dowsing now, we can go around Ikuma's back and we can find Somikawa or the descendant as far as they're concerned. And that's what we're doing now. I remember that now. Who exactly are you talking to? I'm merely setting the scene. Really feels like it raises the stakes, no? Makes it feel more like a thrilling adventure. Sure, you got me all worked up. But I'm trying to concentrate. Could you please stop distracting me? No, right. Sorry. I kind of do like that he does that, though. He's thinking about us, you know, playing the game. Trying to keep us surprised at the situation. And it totally reminded me of what Cersei was doing, so I totally appreciate that. Looking around for one of those bird stickers. You never know where they're going to pop up. It doesn't look like there's one. I don't really think there's anywhere one could be hiding unless Cersei's standing in front of one. Not one on that building, not one on this wall. I think we've been over here before, so I guess if there was one here, we probably would have found it. Right, let's take a look at the surroundings. Let's look at a pretty surrounding. This is the town of Ichika in Toba City. The area is one of many in the area renowned for its Ama divers. Take a look at Cersei. Cersei is completely focused on dowsing right now. There are several types of dowsing techniques, but it seems like she's using a pendulum. It would seem that the necklace she wears can be used for such a purpose. The closer you get to the target, the stronger the pendulum swings. It's swinging a little bit now, so it must be somewhere nearby. Alright, Cersei, what's going on? She seems focused. Best not to interrupt her now. I guess we gotta think then. Cersei's using her dowsing ability to search for a descendant right now. What's that? Doesn't her dowsing only let us look for spiritual energy? And on top of that, doesn't she have to be familiar with the energy she's looking for? That's right. I was thinking the same thing. However, Cersei was perfectly prepared. Before parting with Ikoma yesterday, she asked him to hand the iron box to the descendant when he paid her a visit. That's what it was. We gave him the box. We kept the curse stone. We gave him the box, and the box has that energy, I guess, that the Omnimoji had put on it. So that's probably what she's looking for. Give me just 1 second. I need to put one of my Stream Deck overlays on really quick. Show action bar. There we go. She said the descendant ought to have it, since it is so deeply connected to Taishima's history. Ikoma agreed on the matter and would apparently go through with it, assuming he did hand it over. Then the iron box with its massive amount of spiritual energy has fallen right into the lap of our target. Now, Cersei just has to use her dowsing to locate the box. At least that's the plan. Alright, sounds good. Talk to her again. She seems focused. Best not interrupt her now. Okay. So there must be something nearby, or maybe we just keep thinking. Arnov seems to have a lot of thoughts, so that could be what it's all about. Nothing in the water to investigate, is there? No. Okay, let's just keep thinking. However, her dowsing's range is limited. With the spiritual energy the iron box possesses, its range is probably just 2 or 3 kilometers. So we had to narrow down the target area somewhat before starting our search. I mean, I guess it's in the past, so I'll just keep using the inner head voice, and that'll be also like our flashback voice, I guess. So any idea where we might start looking for the descendant?
I think Mr. Ikoma said something about visiting her several times before she finally agreed to talk, didn't he?
He did, which would mean that she doesn't live far away. She must live close enough for him to have paid her frequent visits.
Yes, exactly. So I think it'd be best to start by searching the towns within Toba.
I see. But there are quite a few towns in the area, right?
About that, when we parted yesterday, Mr. Ikoma mentioned something else that stuck out with me. When you asked to meet the descendant, he said he'd probably drop by later anyway, since he also had to handle the matter with Misuma.
Ah, right. He did say that. So basically, the descendant lived close to Suma. He said it like he would drop by while he was in the area, so they likely live close to one another.
Yes, I was thinking the same. Those towns with many Ama divers are our top candidates.
So that means we should probably start by searching all the towns in Toba that are home to a lot of Ama divers.
That's right. We can make our way up by searching along the coast for starters.
It'd be nice if we'd at least learn the descendant's name.
We might have a lead on that. Think of your research into the past of this place.
Oh, right. I believe the name was Somekawa? Let me double check profiles and spelling that right. Somekawa, yeah. K-A-W-A. Yeah. Somekawa, that's what Taishima's survivor was called. If there are any descendants, then they may still bear the same name.
That's right. It's another clue we can follow.
And so we ended up spending the morning traveling along the coast from one fishing town to another. This is the 4th town we've searched so far. It's about time we actually find something. Okay, can we talk to her now? So, Cersei, what's the situation?
Want to give it a try?
Huh? Really? Will it still work if it's me?
I'll still be holding the pendulum, but you can see for yourself if you'd like.
Color me intrigued, I'm in.
All right, just like this. I'll hold the pendulum. Direct me to move in different locations, or sorry, in different directions to see where it reacts.
Very well, bring it on.
The pendulum won't respond right away, so the trick is to point it in one direction and wait a while. Once you find the spot where it reacts the strongest, just shout that you figured it out.
Got it. When it comes to yelling, I'm your guy. Okay, so we should, I guess, point it this way. Oh. I mean, that definitely seems promising there. The first place I pointed at. Wow. Also, I found it. There, right there.
Not quite. The reaction should be much stronger than that.
Oh, okay.
It takes a little time for it to react, so if you move around too fast, it might be hard to notice. We'll be searching this place high and low for information.
So that's how it works. Got it. Okay, so it needs to react more than that. Maybe this building here? Barely getting anything there. Now it's not moving at all. So it's definitely in this direction. I just gotta find the spot where it moves the most. Can't imagine it being down. They're not gonna be underground, right? And that seems pretty good there. Oh. Whoa! If that's not a fucking clue that there's something up right here, I don't know what is, Cersei. Found it? There, right there. There we go.
You got it!
So that means it's somewhere up there?
Well, it may still be a bit further out, but at least we figured out what direction to go.
I knew it was about time we hit the right spot. Alright, let's follow this thing and see where it leads us.
Right.
This is it. It's the apartment furthest back on this building's ground floor. Got it. Hello? Anybody home?
Wow, you don't hesitate, huh?
We're here on behalf of Mr. Akoma. No answer. Guess no one's home.
No, I can sense a presence.
Hello? We'd like to talk about the iron box. There she is, Sumikawa.
What is it? Ah, you two. Avi and Cersei, is it? So you're the ones who found that iron box. Yes, that's right. You know, I've never talked to foreigners before. I'm so nervous I can hardly think straight.
Please, no need to be so tense. Miss Sumikawa, I promise we're both harmless and cheerful.
Right.
Like that helps her out. Oh man, we don't get to see much of the surroundings. She's just in this freaking dark freaking box of a room. Surroundings. So this is Miss Sumikawa's home. Even with the lights on, it's strangely dark inside. Even though it's daytime, the shutters are kept tightly shut. You can hardly hear any noise from outside either. If we can just look at Arnov to think as well. Let's look at Cersei real quick. She may look calm on the surface, but I know she must be excited to peek inside a traditional Japanese home. Well, a wooden apartment like this is pretty old school. I can see why she'd be geeking out. She's a total weeb. Oh, we can look at the surroundings more. At a quick glance, I can't spot anything that looks like a tamatebako in the room. I suppose it makes sense she wouldn't just keep it out in the open. So she is a descendant of the last Taishima survivor. The way she dresses makes her look older, but I'd say she's probably around my age. I thought she'd be difficult to deal with, but now that we've actually met her, I'd say it's more like she's extremely cautious, the type to never let her guard down. I can't even begin to imagine the kind of life she's led. Still, the fact that she's wearing a traditional clothing is actually quite charming. I've hardly seen anyone wearing traditional clothes since coming to Japan, which was a bit of a shock, to be honest. He was more willing to meet us than expected. The iron box proved more useful than I thought. Nice work, Cersei. I'll treat you to more onigiri senbei later. No, it's the same thought. Alright, let's talk to Cersei first.
I'm so glad we got a chance to talk with her.
Okay, that's all she's got then. Let's go ahead and talk to her. Talk about Miss Sumikawa, talk about the iron box, talk about the tamatebako. We're going to save the tamatebako. I feel like that'll be maybe the last thing I bring up. Let's start with talking about her. Allow me to emphasize what an honor it is to meet a descendant of Taishima.
Who's to say it's even true?
I suppose your family must have lived in this town for generations.
Nah, I moved here a couple years back.
Oh, why's that?
That's got nothing to do with the two of you.
No, fair enough. And if you don't mind me asking, do you have any other family or relatives, Ms. Sumikawa?
Why?
Apologies, I was merely wondering if there are any other descendants.
Dunno, but I'm probably the only one left. That too will come to an end soon enough.
No? What do you mean by that?
No more than what I said.
Man, she's being cryptic. Let's keep talking about her. So, do you live here by yourself, Miss Omikawa?
That's right.
Okay. That's it. Okay, check mark. All right. Talk about the iron box?
Where exactly did you come across the iron box?
I followed this map that was in my family's possession. Supposedly it was left behind by the Onimoji who sealed away the curse of Taishima.
A map, you say?
It led us to the iron box. It must have been resting at the bottom of Ise Bay. Since it's such a valuable artifact deeply connected to Taishima's lost history, we felt we absolutely had to tell you about it, Miss Omikawa.
Oh yeah?
If I may say so, I noticed your interest in the iron box. Could it be you already knew of its existence?
I didn't know it was a box, but I'd been told something will still remain of the island.
That makes sense. Keep talking about it.
Speaking of that box, I don't suppose there was something inside.
Yes, inside was a record detailing how Taishima was destroyed, along with information on the curse of the raging waves.
A record?
No, allow me to fill you in on the details. And that sums it up. Such a horrid man, wouldn't you say, massacring the people of Taishima because he wanted to find a mermaid that bad. The grudges left behind by the events coalesced into two separate curses, and ultimately, Taishima was destroyed along with everything else. I'm sure it must be excruciating to hear the tale of how your ancestors' home was destroyed. But I believe this story should be passed down so people can learn of Taishima's true history. Wouldn't you agree?
And that was all recorded in that box.
Yeah, he's not telling her about the curse stone. I don't want to give it to you, so I'm not going to tell you about it. Talk about the iron box.
And that was all recorded in that box?
Okay, that's the end of that then. Let's talk. Oh, we'll come back to it, looks like. We'll talk about legends now, since that popped up. By the way, you may consider this the curious whims of a fantasy author, but would you be able to elucidate me on some of the stories that have been passed down in your family?
Now I get it. So you also came here because you want to ask about mermaids, eh?
You got me or not at all? I think you got me. Let's just be honest with her, because I mean, it seems like she's fucking reading Arnon like a book, dude. So, you got me. All right, you got me there. It's true. Can you blame me? As a fantasy author, it's in my blood. If mermaids truly do exist, then I must state my curiosity, or sate.
I knew it. Whatever your motives, you're not getting the Tame Tobacco. I'm not falling for one of Ikoma's schemes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I said the wrong thing then. Can we still talk about legends?
I'm not gonna share the family's legends of Taishima with just anyone.
But Arnav's not just anyone, he's a fantasy writer. Can we talk about the iron box one? Nope. Same thing. Let's think. Oh, here we go. Miss Tomikawa brought up the Tame Tobacco all on her own. He really does have it then. Just as I thought, Mr. Ikoma's after it too. That sneak. Yeah, we know he's hiding something, dude. Let's talk to Cersei. Okay, she said the same thing. Okay, never mind. Let's talk about the Tame Tobacco since you brought it up. Did you just say that Ikoma is after the Tame Tobacco?
Oh, so you didn't know? Well, he is. That's exactly why I hid it somewhere no one will ever find it.
I see. It must be very precious to you then. Well, I'm relieved that the iron box found its way to you then. Talk about the iron box then.
So, was there a curse stone inside the iron box?
A curse what?
Don't play dumb. There must have been one.
Well, I feel like I just want to keep being honest with her. We're just gonna piss her off if we lie, because it seems like she knows a lot more than like she's leading on, and she's like trying to feel out like if we're gonna be honest or not. I'll say yes, there was. We'll go with them. So you already knew about it. There was indeed a curse stone inside.
That's what I thought. And how about a trade? You two want the Tome Tobacco, don't you?
Oh? A trade? Oh, do we trade then? I didn't think we'd gone this... Wait. I didn't think we'd be going this far out. You certainly shook me when you said we had to take a boat all of a sudden. To think that Tome Tobacco would be hidden at sea. What an incredible plot twist. Ah, my apologies. I guess that's just the writer in me coming through. This is all too thrilling.
You sure can talk.
Oh, believe it or not, I'm actually holding back. I can actually go on and on at a great length once I get started.
That wasn't praise. There's nowhere to run on an island. No matter where you go, someone's always near. It's always too loud, grating on the ears. The sea, though. Once you get this far out, it's nice and quiet. Nothing but the sound of waves. No talking, no irritating folk or commotion. Only fish swimming without a sound.
So, just taking a moment here. It looks like Cersei did not come with us, so maybe Cersei's back there and she's stopping Yumiko and Oda from pursuing Arnov right now. Maybe that, because I remember they said that Somikawa had gotten on a boat with somebody, so I guess it was Arnov. I don't know, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. This lady's weird, dude.
This is fine. Stop the boat.
Take a look around. Oh, look. A Shikigami. Like a spirit type of thing? No, a Shinigami is like a god of death, so a Shikigami might be something similar. Whoa. This is one of Cersei's abilities. A Shikigami. When someone's name is written on a piece of paper, she can make that paper fly towards that person. They're great for delivering messages or tracking down someone. I was pretty spooked the first time I saw it, but I've gotten used to it. Okay, fine. I did just go whoa, but not because I was actually surprised or anything.
Is something wrong?
It's nothing. Don't mind me. Wonder if something happened to Cersei. Better read the note. Let's take a look.
Ran into 2 suspicious people looking for Miss Somikawa. I drove them off for now, but be careful.
I knew it. I knew that's when she saw them. Show pupper. You need to go potty? Yeah, he does. Alright, I need to find a little quick stopping point here and let him out for a minute. Seems like something's happened on Cersei's end. Better stay alert, just in case. But I don't think I'll mention this to Somikawa. It'd only shake her up. So I guess I'm predicting that the end of this scene will be Arnov using the curse stone on her for some reason. Don't know why. Maybe they get in a little tussle or something, but could be interesting. So before we get into something too heavy, I'm gonna go take this dog out really quick. He needs to go potty, so I'll be right back. Should just be a couple minutes, I hope. It's raining, so I don't think he's gonna want to be outside for too long. He hates the rain. But yeah, enjoy these commercials while you wait. BRB.
Good for you. But I've got to worry about.
All right. Yeah, that did not take very long. He hates the rain. He did his business and ran right back inside. Okay, cool. So we are back, and we're about to find out what happens. All right. Looks like we got a few drop frames, but for the most part, everything seems all right. Okay, let's see. Shall we think? Come all the way out here to the middle of the sea on Miss Somikawa's request. This boat can only carry 2 people, so I've left Cersei to watch the shore. Given that Ikoma's after the Tome Tobacco as well, he might try to interfere if he learns of this. So Cersei is keeping an eye out to make sure he doesn't try to follow us. It's reassuring to have some backup.
So someone has been tailing us all along.
Okay, interesting. Surroundings? We're somewhere off the coast of Toba City, accompanied only by the sound of the waves and the cries of seabirds. Did she really hide the Tomite Bako here? In a place with no landmarks whatsoever? What if she just tries to, like, attack him? Wouldn't that be crazy? She brought him out here so she could try to murder him or something, and maybe that's why he uses the curse stone? That'd be crazy. Well, let's see. And it's at the bottom of the ocean here. How are we supposed to retrieve it? Well, she's an Ama diver, I believe, so I guess she could dive for it. Doesn't look like they have any equipment for that, though, but I don't know. It's a pretty much freeform diving practice, so. Miss Omikawa used to be an Ama diver. Could she be planning to go down and get it herself? I honestly think she might be trying to kill Arnov. This just screams like murder scene all over it. And somehow, I'm pretty sure she's the one that gets turned into a fish and desiccates and dies. So, I'm pretty sure that the curse gets used on her. And if Arnov is now the curse bearer, then, it would make sense. She looks so solemn. I wonder what's going on through her mind. Or what's going through her mind. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little concerned she still hasn't told me the conditions of our trade. Will she ask me to trade her the curse stone? Or maybe your life? Bum, bum, bum. Talk about the trade. So will you tell me what you want to trade for the Tomite Bako now?
You've got the Forsaken Fish Curse Stone with you, right?
Sure do. Have a good look. The Forsaken Fish Curse Stone. Pretty cool, right?
Looks like the real deal, all right.
You want to trade the stone for the Tomite Bako, right? I figured as much. Well, I'm fine with those terms. Let's do it.
No, that ain't it.
Oh? That ain't it? No, dude.
Come all the way here, out here in the middle of the sea with Miss Omikawa's request.
Okay, that's it. Talk about the trade.
You know, I once had a sister. Her name was Mare Somikawa.
Oh! This is Mare's sister. Okay, so it's not Yuza's mom. Okay, I kept thinking maybe it was Yuza's mom still. Okay, so maybe she did die then. Or maybe she was the mermaid. You say you had a sister. Does that mean?
Yes, she's gone. Died in an accident at sea about 5 years ago.
I see. My condolences. So there actually was another descendant.
You folks seem to be pinning your hopes on me just because I'm one of the descendants. But the one who actually inherited our duty wasn't me. It was my sister.
Your duty?
That's right. The duty of the Taishima bloodline. It's been passed down in our family over generations. Even more, our generation would be the one to handle the 400th year since the disaster. My grandpa always said that was particularly important.
So there was a duty Taishima's descendants were meant to perform after 400 years.
But I was young back then. Still had dreams of my own. I wanted no part in some annoying duty, so I ran away from home the first chance I got. I pushed all that responsibility onto my sister, but I know I should have helped her.
I see. So that's why your sister was the one who inherited that duty. Interesting. Should we think again?
So it wasn't Miss Omikawa who inherited the family duty, but her older sister. This is probably part of her so-called request. Curious, so I might as well hear her out.
Talk about her duty. This duty you mentioned. Was it to break what remains of the curse of the raging waves?
I suppose they were connected, but lifting the curse would have been a step along the road. But it wasn't the goal.
Oh, really? Then what was it?
Well, it It was to return the mermaid that was left behind in Issei Bay to Ryugu. That was the real duty of the Taishima bloodline. To return the mermaid that was left behind in Issei Bay. That's Hayase, huh? So in order to do that, would that effectively be like returning the curse stone then? Because she kind of like turned into it in a way, or I don't know that you'd say that exactly, but as far as I understand, it was through her death that the curse stone was created. Return the mermaid? So it's true. There really was a mermaid stuck in Issei Bay because she couldn't return to Ryugu. That's right. Her name is Sobe. Okay, no, so it was a different one. It wasn't Hayase. Okay, so there was one of the two that escaped then. No, she's come up in our research. So she was real after all. You see, my sister that took on the family duty, seems like she actually met Sobe herself. She got to meet the mermaid? After leaving my hometown and making a living as an ama diver, I'd all but forgotten about the duty I'd left behind. I had no idea what our duty actually entailed. When I finally learned the truth, I was crushed by regret. Regret? Why? You know, ever since I was a little girl, I'd always been fascinated by mermaids. Understandable. I read The Little Mermaid so many times, the pages of the book had started to wear away. I would see them in my dreams over and over. Back then I wanted nothing more than to become a mermaid. It's what led me to become an ama diver in the first place. But the true nature of the family duty is only revealed to the one who inherits it. I see. What bitter irony. But couldn't you meet the mermaid after you learned the truth? My sister took pity on me and attempted to call her to meet me once in secret. My sister, Mare, even shared some of the things the mermaid had told her. But you know, Sobe was a cautious mermaid who never truly opened her heart to anyone but my sister. Me, on the other hand, she avoided. I was never even allowed as much of it as a glimpse. Quite the bitter outcome. Mare and the mermaid had grown close as friends. They trusted each other. They were inseparable. But she never once showed herself to anyone other than my sister, not even to a close relative like myself. So she hid herself away for 400 years. Was such caution really necessary? Your sister must have been an incredible person to earn the mermaid's trust. Though I can only imagine how hard it must have been to be rejected by an existence you so deeply admired and longed to meet. Mare moved to Kamishima to be closer to Ryugu, all for the mermaid's sake. Then one day, she got married and changed her name to Mare Minakuchi. She seemed so happy. So she got married on Kamishima. I was so jealous. I couldn't think straight, and ended up lashing out pretty badly. In an attempt to destroy my sister's relationship with the mermaid, I grabbed our family heirloom and ran off. Ah, the infamous Tame Tobacco, yes? Yeah. The mermaid was supposed to take it back to Ryugu, so our family had carefully kept it for centuries. And so, the years went by. Then 5 years ago, I heard that Mare had died in an accident. That's why I came back to Toba. I thought that maybe this meant the duty would be passed on to me. Of course. But by then our parents and all our relatives had already passed away. There was no one left who knew about our duty. There was nothing I could do. I didn't know a thing. Not where the mermaid was, nor how to call her. I'd given up. But while I was digging around, that man Ikoma found out I was a descendant of Taishima. You see, I was struggling to get by. I'd sold the information my sister had told me about the mermaid. Back then, I was making a living by giving folks a glimpse of the Tame Tobacco for a ridiculous price.
And that brings us to the present, I suppose. Whoa, there it is! So it's true. There really is a mermaid here in Issei Bay. That mermaid really still exists. We might be able to make contact. Yes, there must be a way.
Didn't you just hear Arnov? Like, the mermaid doesn't want to talk to her. Let's see. Talk about her duty?
In other words, since your sister died in that accident, your family's duty was never fulfilled. And now you want us to go find the mermaid for you.
That ain't it.
Dang.
I guess it must have been about 3 months ago. I was wandering the coast alone when the mermaid Sobe appeared before me.
Oh, you finally got to meet her.
She told me this. The seal on Ryugu's gateway has been lifted, so I will be returning. Your sister has done a great deal for me. I now ask you to return the Tome Tobacco.
Wait, what? The seal was lifted? Oh, is that perhaps why the curse of the raging waves became active again? So what about the Tome Tobacco? Did you return it to the mermaid?
I was so overcome with emotion and excitement, I told her. I've hidden the relic. If you want it back, take me to Ryugu.
You said what?
Not being able to fulfill my duty had been weighing heavy on my heart. But in that moment, that pain was gone. On top of that, I figured the mermaid had come to fetch me. Being able to visit the land of the mermaids, there'd be no greater happiness than that. But Sobe simply told me it wasn't possible and that she'd forfeit the relic. And with that, she was gone.
Oh. So the mermaid has already returned to Ryugu then?
Ever since then, all I've felt is despair and regret. I'm completely empty inside. There's nothing left.
I think she just wants to die. Maybe she wants him to use the curse on her so she can become a fish for a moment or something. I don't know. Sounds like it's getting to that kind of point, right?
Damn it. Sobe has already returned to Ryugu. Even so, I will not allow myself to give up now. I must get my hands on the Tome Tobacco first.
Talk about the Tome Tobacco.
But then, the Tome Tobacco still exists, doesn't it?
Sure does, but even with such a fancy name, in the end it's just a grimy old box. I opened it once. I was hoping there'd be some elixir of eternal youth inside, or something. But it was completely empty.
I see. Even so, I'd still like to trade for it.
Are you sure? I don't see why, but whatever. It's not like anything matters anymore. I'm just sick and tired of it all.
Ah.
Okay, same thought. Now let's keep talking about the Tome Tobacco.
In the end, I never did figure out what that Tome Tobacco really was. The mermaid forfeited it just like that, so maybe it never had any meaning to begin with.
Talk about her duty.
My family's duty has been fulfilled. That's what I meant when I said it was all over.
Okay, talk about the trade.
So, what do you want in return?
I want to do whatever it takes to become a mermaid.
Yeah, I think I'm right. I think she wants to be cursed.
Miss Sumikawa, don't tell me. You want me to use the curse stone?
Simply returning to the sea. That's my only wish.
No, listen. There's nothing even remotely beautiful about the curse of the Forsaken Fish. All it will do is turn you into some twisted half-fish monster. Nothing but a grotesque imitation of a mermaid.
I know. That's fine with me. This curse is the essence of that mermaid's power. I am ready to offer up my life to her. But whatever you do, I'll just be drowning myself anyway. So you won't be dirtying your hands. All you have to do is use the curse. My wish will be granted, and you would be doing me a kindness. That's all there is to it.
Just hold on a minute, okay? This is just...
The tome tobacco is hidden beneath the floorboards of my house. Please, do this for me.
Mr. Maikawa, wait! Ah, she's already gone. Will she come back up if I just wait long enough? Think.
Damn it, what now? What do I do? Should I grant her last wish? It's surely no worse than helplessly standing about as she drowns herself. Right, she was serious about this. She's been dreaming about mermaids ever since she was little. I know exactly how that feels. It may be a curse, but still, I will honor her wishes by unleashing the mermaid's power. It's how she wanted to go. You might be the only one who actually understands Miss Omikawa's feelings. If I don't act now, it'll be like denying her final hope and dream.
I guess we're doing it then. Ah! Dude, how crazy. At least it wasn't like a struggle or anything. I was thinking it was like some murder scene, but yeah, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as all that. Alright, let's see, we got an update here. I guess, we didn't have very much on her, so I think it starts here. Let's just read the whole thing then. A woman living in Toba. Although she occasionally does work as an alma diver, it is unclear who she is and where she came from. She apparently showed up in Toba about 5 years ago with nothing but a grubby wooden box to her name, and has been living there ever since. As Made Minakuchi's younger sister, Azusa is also a descendant of the sole survivor of Taishima. Following the destruction of Taishima, the Sumikawa line hid themselves away, living for generations in a small village within the city of Shima. The book, The Little Mermaid, was a constant fixture in the household, a decision made so that the children of the family would grow up with a familiarity with mermaids, and Azusa read it repeatedly as she grew up, the tale fueling a fervent admiration for mermaids within her. Upon realizing that she could never be a mermaid herself, she instead decided to become an alma diver, thinking that would at least allow her to swim freely through the sea like the beings she so admired. Thus resolved, she did her own hometown behind. Thus resolved, she left her hometown behind, leaving the family duty, nothing more than a troublesome burden to Azusa, to be handled by her elder sister alone. For all intents and purposes, it appeared that Azusa's wish had been granted. However, upon returning home following her parents' death, she was taken aback to learn that the family duty inherited by Made was in itself deeply connected to mermaids. Forgetting how she had pushed the duty onto Made to follow her own desires, Azusa grew deeply resentful of her sister, accusing her of keeping the mermaid to herself and asserting her right to take up the family duty. But it was too late. Made and the mermaid had already forged an unbreakable bond that no amount of words or deeds could undo. Following Made's death, she was finally able to meet the being that had enchanted her for so long. However, her desperate plea for the mermaid to take her back to Ryugu with her was met with staunch refusal, and the mermaid left shortly after, never to return. With her opportunity to fulfill the family duty gone and her chance at connecting with mermaids lost, Azusa sank into despondency, spending her days in an empty haze. Amidst this despair, the curse of the forsaken fish that appeared before her seemed to be the final chance to have her wish granted. Driven by regret over what she perceived as a life of wrong choices and consumed by her obsession, she threw herself into Ise Bay and surrendered herself to the curse, ultimately dying due to its effects. Her form, withering in the agony brought on by her sudden transformation, bore no resemblance to the mermaid she had once so admired as a child. Yet it is said that the expression on her face when her body was discovered a day later in Futamagawara seemed somewhat content. Sobe. One of the 3 mermaids who were said to have lived near Taishima about 400 years ago. She has since returned to her home, Ryugu. After that, we managed to quietly retrieve the tometobako from beneath the floor in Miss Somikawa's house. All that was left to secure the dream of immortality was to obtain mermaid flesh. Oh, I'm remembering now. That's right. The tometobako is empty, but it's not that it's empty that's the point. It's the fact that if you put mermaid flesh in there, it will... Okay, so essentially, the area inside the box is represents Ryugu in, like, that dimension. So it's like a little box that holds that dimension in it. So if you were to just eat, like, a mermaid's flesh outside of Ryugu, it's apparently... that doesn't do anything to you. You don't get immortality or anything. But when you put the flesh back in there, it will get the properties of as if it's from Ryugu again or whatever. And then I think you're supposed to eat it from the box, and then you apparently get that, or at least that's kind of like what we've been led to believe. But like, it essentially turns things back into the state they would be in that, like, dimension or zone or whatever. I think is kind of like the idea. So that's why he wants to obtain some mermaid flesh. He can put it in the box, and then I guess he wants to eat it. I'm not sure. Since Sobe had already returned to Ryugu, we placed our hopes on the last remaining mermaid, Nagami. We had to act fast, otherwise Ikoma or even those Paranormal Affairs Bureau psychics would get in our way. It might have been the after effects of using the curse, but I got sick the next day and had to spend a full day bedridden in the inn. How pathetic. That's when I heard news that 2 female divers had gone missing near Toba. The fact that I'd been involved in both incidents made me feel even worse. Right, because the second one, because I remember the first one was the one that tried to find the box, but yeah, I guess Somikawa was the second one. Because we heard about that, like, as Yuza, and Yuza heard there's like, oh no, there's 2 armor divers that have gone missing recently from the mainland. When Cersei heard the news, she just mumbled something with an unreadable expression on her face. I had no choice. There was simply no other way. Or at least that's what I kept telling myself as I struggled to get out of bed. The next day, August 7th, we set out to gather more information on Nagami and the other mermaids. We traveled to Kamishima, the island where Made Somikawa, or rather, Made Minakuchi, used to live. Boom! Okay, so now on to arriving in Kamishima. So this should be what happened to them before they met up with Yuza, because Yuza and Azami end up meeting up with Arnav and Cersei at the lighthouse. They end up kind of following them and going to the lighthouse with them, and then they have a conversation. And I assume that's when Arnav's like, oh, so there is one more descendant. It's the descendant of Made. And realizes that Yuza is that piece, but then they have to leave pretty shortly after, so they only have like a short interaction. So let's see, arriving on Kamishima, let's do it. Summary of previous events. Avi and Cersei finally arrive on Kamishima on the hunt for clues that will lead them to the real mermaid. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but Arnav goes by Avi, so that's why it says Avi and Cersei, in case that's confusing. It's just like a nickname he likes to go by. August 7th. Kamishima, Chuo Street. So we're already on Kamishima, already in the middle of Chuo Street. Nice. We're familiar with this. Finally, after our long, arduous journey, we have arrived at the fabled island of Kamishima. Hey, are you alright? You don't look so good.
You mean you're completely fine? The whole area is literally oozing cursed energy. I didn't think it'd be so bad before. Is it getting stronger?
Can't you dispel curses?
Minor ones, sure, but this is on a whole other level.
I see. Might be best we don't stay here too long then. Let's just ask around as much as we can. When you feel like you've reached your limit, make sure to tell me, okay?
Got it. I'll do my best.
Alright, let's start by asking the locals about mermaid legends first. I'd like to ask around to see if anybody knew Mare Minakuchi as well. That's the plan. Let's move. Wow, really? That was it? So is there like another piece that we're gonna get to here? That's weird. Huh, I guess we just need into that little bit of information about, like, that's why Cersei seems like, I don't know, like she's like blushing or whatever the whole time she's there because she's like feeling ill. Interesting. So now all we have left is Kamishima investigation. I mean, we could do some more diving, I guess, but I think that's the only point of this is that I can get my diver rank up enough that I think there's maybe another branch in one of these. I guess not one of those. I guess it would have been whenever Yuza and Azumi got the mirrors from Kukichi or Kikuchi or however you say her name is. Or Kikuko? Something like that. So I did want to go back and see if anything was different, because she's like, well, if you have a certain level, then she was going to give Yuza something, but only if he was like a high enough level diver. I don't remember. Anyway, we're going to go to this. Kamishima investigation. It's a recollection. Yumiko and her partner learn about the threat of the curse of the raging waves encroaching upon Kamishima and head over to warn the island. So this got brought up when Sato was remembering more of the interaction they had with Yumiko, because we'd already seen her interact with them because they were asking where the Wakamura residence was, which is where Sato's staying. It's like this rich magnate on Kamishima. And he's been like trying to stop the curse or break the curse, and he's been working with like a sorcerer, I think is what they call him. Basically like an Animoji, I guess, in a way, but like a modern day one. I guess they would call a sorcerer, apparently. So yeah, but apparently there was more to that conversation that we didn't get to see, and so Sato was recalling it, and then that unlocked this recollection. So let's do it.
The Wakamura residence is just up the slope after you head through that alley. It's a bit of a maze, though. Want me to show you? Ah, so it was that way. Thank you. We should be fine by ourselves, I think. Got it. Take care, then.
So is this like her paranormal view? She can tell Sato is not normal? Ma'am? Oh, maybe this is Soto's view. Oh, no, this is her view, okay. Is something the matter?
No, it's nothing. I'll tell you later.
Interesting. So then they went to the Wakamura residence. On August 6th. This is a day before Avi gets there. This guy always looks funny to me. Oh, let me get this straight. You're with the police? And you expect me to warn everyone on the island that a huge storm is on its way, and get them ready to face it?
That's it in a nutshell. I'm so glad you understand.
This is about the curse of the raging waves? Way ahead of you there. I've been warning them for ages.
Well, now you know... well now. You know about the curse? Can it be that a certain sorcerer acquaintance of yours told you about it?
That's right. Unlike you phony psychics who crawl out of the woodwork every other week, my instructor's the real deal.
In that case, I expect this instructor also knows how the curse can be lifted.
No. Hasn't got that far yet, but it's not for lack of trying. Why? You saying you know a way to break it?
Unfortunately, no. We've yet to determine the exact method for bringing it to an end.
We are not without the means to do so, but first we require a map concealed in the mummified mermaid. Might you know of it?
A mummified mermaid? What are you on about? This is some kind of ruse? I knew there was something fishy about you. What are you really after? Go on, out with it.
I assure you, we wish only to lift the curse plaguing Kamishima. Would you be prepared to assist us in our efforts?
Bah! A likely story, trying to pull one over on an old Wakamura, are we? Better than you have tried. Means better than you, okay. I always struggle when people have like accents like that. Well, how's this? I'm not telling you another word. We're done here, understand? I don't have time to listen to this hogwash anyhow. I've got business to attend to on the mainland. So off with you. Leave me in peace.
Well, that is a shame, but I suppose there's nothing we can do. In any case, please do contact us if you learn anything that might be of use. Not very cooperative, is he? I don't see why he's so suspicious. He had his hackles up from the first. Perhaps he's so accustomed to dealing with rough customers that he can't believe anyone would be sincere. However, he does seem to be as interested in breaking the curse of the raging waves as we are. True, and this sorcerer of his must have some psychic ability, if they were able to perceive the curse. Wish I'd thought to ask for their name. Oh, I think I have an idea of who it might be. It's a small world, this industry. Oh, really? Mr. Yamashina's called them a big shot who's appeared on television, and I recognize their mark on the implements in Makamuta's room. It must be Suigen Gamyodo. Gamyodo? Never heard of him.
Now, this is kind of a wild thought, I guess, maybe. But I wonder if this sorcerer guy is the one who's using the samurai curse somehow, because this sorcerer might be interested because he could have been the one on the phone talking to Sato, trying to get her to go off with him. That would be another interesting twist to the whole story. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
No. They used to make frequent appearances on occult programs, though they always hid their face on camera. Sorry, it's not ringing any bells. Well, lately they seem to be raking in a fortune as a corporate consultant for hire. Their powers have a reputation of being accurate and potent, and their popularity has grown to the point where they can essentially name their price. If they're that good, maybe we should let them take care of the curse of the raging waves for us. Perhaps. I should mention, Gamyodo's popularity has reached such heights only very recently. Up until last year, they had a very poor reputation among others in the industry. In fact, as I recall, on the list of notable psychics kept by the Paranormal Affairs Bureau, they were given the lowest rank. In other words, they were put on the same level as sham mediums riding the wave of the occult boom. I had forgotten about that list. While their sudden rise to fame and fortune after changing up their business at the end of last year is certainly suspicious, I am more concerned about the possibility that they are using a harmful curse to suit the needs of the highest bidder. Regardless, I'm not sure I would trust them to handle this affair on their own. You never know. Maybe they just had a change of heart and started training seriously. Even so, I highly doubt they would have time in their busy schedule to venture out here and solve this case in our stead. Let's take a look at this guy. Kamishima Gossiper. Complete all characters' profiles. Oh, cool. Suigen Gamyodo. A mysterious sorcerer. Although said to possess exceptional supernatural abilities, they have revealed nothing of their true identity. Both their age and gender are unknown. Suigen Gamyodo was previously known for their prominent media presence, with numerous appearances both on television and in magazines. Wearing an unusual outfit, they covered their face. They would demonstrate a variety of psychic abilities, including exorcism of possessed individuals, assessment of submitted ghost photographs, identification of guiding spirits, and conduction of telepathic readings at haunted locations. Their unique sense of presence and high rate of accuracy garnered them a sizable following, particularly among occult enthusiasts, and they were known to accept consultations from the general public as well as media outlets. However, the end of the previous years saw this once public figure suddenly withdraw from the spotlight. They now mainly operate behind closed doors, signing consulting agreements with particular companies to provide a variety of services, including management advice from a metaphysical perspective, divination of auspicious and harmful events, proposals to improve their clients' luck, and the detection and elimination of paranormal disturbances. It is rumored that they will even cast curses on key personnel at rival companies, or conversely exercise curses from targeted victims.
for the right price. The undeniable potency of their spiritual abilities has earned them immense trust from both the executives of their contracted companies and other wealthy individuals, and their behind-the-scenes reputation continues to grow. This has resulted in a sharp rise in their consulting fees, placing their services far beyond what any average individual can reasonably hope to afford. One of the companies they currently have contract with belongs to Shinobu Wakamura, a local Kamishima magnate. Among psychics, opinion on them is more divided. Many have noted that their spiritual ability during the time they were openly active in the media was too weak to allow them to perform advanced techniques of any sort, to the extent that they were considered little better than a fraud, leading to suspicions about what prompted their sudden change in course. It is now almost impossible to find footage and articles from their past media appearances, and the names of the companies with which they have consulting contracts are entirely undisclosed, obfuscating their identity, purpose, and the true extent of their power. Sato.
Oh, you're the girl who showed us the way earlier. Good thing I caught you. Mind if we have a word? Actually, I'd rather not. I'm afraid you don't really have a choice because I already know that you're an 800-year-old immortal. What are you talking about? Don't even bother. That shocked look has already given you away. Besides, you have nothing to fear. Your secret's safe with me. Come on, let's take this somewhere more private.
Ah, interesting. So this is more probably what Sato was thinking about in that little recollection moment. Pardon the yawning, sorry. I stayed up a little too late last night. So, in short, when you came to, you'd been washed up on the shore of the bay. Wakamura took you in. And that's as far back as your memories go. You don't remember anything about your life before that. Not even why you became immortal. No. Except, I'm pretty sure I was forced to eat mermaid flesh by someone. But you don't know when or why? No. So you've been only recently woken up and have no idea where you were or what you were doing before that? Pretty much. I get the feeling that I was kind of deep sleep at the bottom of the sea for a few hundred years. But I've got no clue why, or how, and what led up to it. Interesting. Well, how about we go over to the facts one by one, just to make sure we're on the same page. Oh, okay. Vision ability on. The only thing to see is Osato, or just Sato, I guess. Maybe she was Osato. We're still figuring that out. Let's think.
I wonder if Wakamura knows about her immortality. He seems to be her guardian. If he does know, and let it slip to Yamashina about it, that could become a problem. It's just one thing after another. What are we to do about her?
Yamashina is the old man on the mainland who is Wakamura's mentor, and he's been trying to figure out how to become immortal for a long time, so I think he is interested in Sato. And at one point, Wakamura says he's going to give Sato to him so that he will give him the ability to break the curse of the raging waves, which at this point, I don't know how Yamashina or whatever can even claim that he can break it, because now we know a lot more about how it's supposed to be broken. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if he actually has anything of substance.
This girl, she calls herself Sato Shiranami. I wonder if she made that name up. Either way, I doubt we'd find her in the civil registry, though that shouldn't affect her life too much while she's living on Kamishima. This is the southwestern coast of the island. We've got it all to ourselves right now. If her readiness to give us directions earlier is anything to go by, she seems to know the island quite well. I just hope she'll be alright. Soto has been researching the ways in which spirit sense affects the human brain. So I'm sure he must be curious what effects longevity has on the minds of the on the minds and psyches of 800-year-old immortals. Is there anything else to look at? I guess we'll talk to Odo first before we dive into Sato. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Ugh. I don't mean to pass it on to anybody who's watching this. It appears she has a lot of gaps in her memory. Having never encountered an 800-year-old immortal before, I must confess I am bursting with questions. How does such a lifespan impact the structure of their brains and memories? It would be fascinating to find out. Now, am I right in thinking you didn't eat mermaid flesh and go straight to sleep? You were up and about for a few years in between, at least. I think so. What interests me is the fact that you were already familiar with the term 800-year immortal. It is not a widely known concept. You must have been in a unique position to acquire knowledge of it before you went to sleep. Yeah, I have a vague memory of being told that's what we're called. But I don't know when that happened or where, let alone who it was. Maybe I'll remember in more detail if we touch on some more topics. Guess we'll just have to go by process of elimination. Work our way down the list until we get a hit. Okay, new thought, maybe? If she does know and let it slip to Yamashina about it, this could become a problem. It's just one thing after another. Okay, yeah, it was the same thought. Tricked me for a second, but... Is there surroundings? Okay. Talk about the reason for visiting. Talk about 800-year-old immortals. Let's talk about Sato again. See if there's anything more there. Keep probing. Is there a reason for all these questions? Well, not to sound insensitive, I'm sure it can be easy for you going about without any memories and all. But I was hoping you might know something that could be of use to us. Given your history, there is a chance you possess information otherwise lost to time. Maybe, but I'm not sure how much help I can be. I remember so little. Okay. Talk about 800-year immortals. By the way, I was wondering, how did you know I was an 800-year immortal? Oh, that? These eyes of mine have what you might call a special ability. A special ability? If I look hard enough at someone, I can tell whether they're an ordinary human or an immortal. It's like you have a different colored aura about you. Really? Not only that, but it turns out, with a bit of focus, even immortals can tell each other apart. Is that so? Oh, I just meant you look the same as anyone else to me. Ha! I'm not an immortal myself, you know. Really? I thought for sure you must be, since you seem to know so much about all this. I guess now that kind of feels like a good lead up into why we're visiting. Come to think of it, I'd say it's about time we introduced ourselves. I'll admit we don't exactly look the part, but the truth is... You're with the police? Wow, I never would have guessed there was a paranormal affairs department. Honestly, I thought all psychics in this age were frauds. At least, that's the impression I got from watching TV. To be fair, the majority of them are, but for the record, our department is officially approved by the government. Really? Huh. Back in my time, psychics were treated as onimoji, and even held official positions in the Bureau of Onmyo, a public institution. Oh, you seem to know a lot about that. Were you involved somehow? Huh? Oh. I explained all that without even thinking. It just came naturally to me. Honestly, I'm surprised as you are. I guess this means I must have had something to do with the Bureau of Onimo. And it seems your memories aren't lost after all. All we have to do is find a way to trigger them.
Nice. Bureau of Onmyo. The Bureau of Onmyo was one of the government offices under the Ritsuryo system, existing from the Asuka period through the early Meiji era. Based on the practice of Onmyodo, it generally oversaw such matters as astronomical observation, the creation of calendars, and management of time systems, and the divination of auspicious or harmful events. However, it is also said that it occasionally invoked powers beyond human understanding to handle the banishment and cleansing of disasters and impurities. The Onimoji affiliated with the Bureau were not merely diviners, they were also bureaucrats, albeit ones possessing advanced training in mathematics and knowledge of astronomy. In some eras, their influence was even great enough to sway the very course of the nation, and their presence in the imperial court was highly valued. Spiritual practitioners in the service of the state were also formally inducted as Onimoji, operating under the banner of the Bureau. The current treatment of spiritual phenomenon as non-existent largely stems from the abolishment of the Bureau of Onmyo during the Meiji Restoration, in line with Japan taking on the principles of science and technology as the new framework for the nation. Over time, state involvement in spiritual matters gradually came to be seen as taboo. However, psychics continued their work to maintain public order behind the scenes, passing this torch down through successive generations until the establishment of the new Police Act in the latter half of the Showa period, whereupon their work eventually came to form the foundation of the Paranormal Affairs Bureau. Oh, interesting. Give me just one moment. Okay. Alright, and we have the invasion of Taishima. We got something in here as well. Which is weird. What did we get for this? Okay, we don't need to read all this because I read all this last time, but this must be new. The fate of the mermaids. After Hudakage sealed the entrance of Ryugu, the two remaining mermaids, Nagami and Sobe, were left unable to return home. Nagami, free-spirited by nature and yearning to explore the seas beyond Ryugu, seized the opportunity to travel the world, a journey that would span the next 400 years. Enamored by the idea of a fairy tale romance, she was said to have been enthused at the thought of finding her own tale of eternal love as she left. However, the more serious Sobe was deeply affected by Hayase's sacrifice. Mourning her loss and filled with longing to return home to Ryugu, she spent her days hidden in the depths of Issei Bay, weeping bitterly. The fate of the surviving islander. Somikawa, the sole survivor of the Taishima Islanders, saw Sobe's tears and vowed to protect her, promising to do all he could to ensure her return to Ryugu one day. The treasure the mermaids entrusted to him, the Tomeshibako, has been passed down through the generations of the Somikawa family as proof of the oath being honored by the descendants 400 years later. This must have been something that came up when we were talking to Somikawa, and I just didn't read it. Maybe I didn't see that there was another entry. Because that does not seem to do with the conversation we're having right now. Whoops. Try to read those in order. This game definitely wants you to read that stuff too, and it's definitely worth it, I think. Just playing this game is like reading a book. Talk about reason for living, or sorry, for living, for visiting, or 800-year mortals. Let's talk about Sato again.
Oh, actually, talking about the Bureau of Onimo brought back another memory. I'm pretty sure it was the Onimoji who put me to sleep, using some kind of spell to keep me in a state between life and death. Really? So someone intentionally put you to sleep under the sea. There must have been a good reason for it. No. From what point are your memories clearest, would you say? Well, I guess about 3 months ago when the spell keeping me in the state under the sea wore off. From when you woke up then, I see. I know that look. Did you notice something? Not exactly. Simply occurred to me that if her state of, shall we say, suspended animation was lifted while she was in the sea depths, would she not have drowned and resurrected several times over? Oh, yeah, I did. It was hell. I woke up under the sea, unable to breathe, drowned and came back over and over again. It was horrible, and I still remember it, every last second. Jeez, I'm sorry you had to go through that. The instant I came back, I'd swim as hard as I could, trying to reach the surface. But even so, I think it took me about 3 days to reach the shore.
Damn, dude.
I lost count of how many times I died down there. Then, finally, I came into Kamishima Bay. Mr. Wakamura found me and took me in. And I've been living here peacefully ever since. No one's even suspected I'm immortal. You're sure about that, are you? No one else knows? Huh? Yeah, I mean, I think so. Anyhow, I guess that settles the issue of how far back your memories go.
Okay, same thought. Just thought we'd check. Should we talk to Soto? It appears she has a lot of gaps in her memory. Having never encountered an 800-year immortal before, I must confess I'm bursting with questions. Okay, yeah, that's what he said last time. Skip over that. Come back to Sato. I feel like we want to keep talking about Sato.
Is there a reason for all these questions?
Okay, so I think this is the same thing. I was hoping you might know something. Peace to us. Yeah, same sequence. So we need to do something else. Talk about 800-year immortals.
Ha! I'm not an immortal myself, you know. Really? I thought you... Sure, you must be, since you seem to know so much about all this.
Okay, so not that again. So, visiting.
So, anyway, what are a couple of paranormal affairs officials doing on Kamishima? Working a case, of course. What else? Our job is to resolve incidents caused by curses and paranormal phenomena, and wherever possible, prevent them from occurring. It's up to us to solve the greatest mysteries and do whatever it takes to keep the peace, which is usually a lot. Wait, does that mean something's happened here? You don't know, huh? Know what? Sounds like we better fill you in a bit first.
I guess reason for visiting still?
We're working several cases right now, but I'd say only 2 of them are a priority. 2. Mind you, we've known about the first one for quite some time. The Curse of the Raging Waves, we've come to lift it before it unleashes a huge storm on the southern sea of Kamishima. The Curse of the Raging Waves? That's right. Ever heard of it? No, never. That's to be expected. I imagine the islanders aren't too fond of discussing the disaster. Anyhow, the situation is ongoing. As for other priority case... Right, you mentioned there were 2? We actually only learned about this after we arrived on the island today, but... Protocol dictates that we have to deal with any 800-year immortals we find. What do you mean, deal with? It's not all that difficult to understand. To begin with, 800-year immortals shouldn't exist in this world. And if their existence were to become public knowledge, it would lead to an outbreak and trouble of every kind. Heck, some people are already looking to gain immortality for themselves at any cost. What? For the sake of maintaining public order, it is vital that the world remains convinced immortality is just a myth. However... Stop her, Soto!
Well, I guess we gotta use the curse.
Halt! Can't you just let me go? Calm down, will you? I haven't finished. What I was going to say was I've got no intention of doing anything with you, so don't worry. Wait, really? Surprised? But you should know better than anyone why that would be. You might be an 800-year immortal, but your time's nearly up. These eyes never lie. Sato Shiranami, for the first time in centuries, you're standing on death's door. In a matter of a few days, you'll be gone from this world. Am I right? Yes, it's exactly as you say. I think. I've only got 2 days left now. Just 2 more. So you knew this was coming, but you chose to make a life for yourself on the island even so. Yeah. I've known all along, from the moment I woke up.
Ah, is that why it took you 3 days to make it to the shore? I imagine knowing you had so little time left must have made it difficult to work up the strength to save yourself.
Oh, it did, but my desperation to escape went out in the end. Well, now you know why I'm prepared to turn a blind eye. In just 48 hours, give or take, you'll fade away, and that will be that.
That's so sad. Sato seems like such a nice young lady.
Of course, you would have to swear to keep your identity a secret to the last. But provided you can keep word. Wait. But provided you can keep your word, you're free to go. I think she means your word. I think a little typo there. But provided you can keep your word, you're free to go. I can, and I will. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. There's another matter I'll be needing your help with. And if I'm to leave you be. Another matter?
Okay, can we think of something new? Yep.
For starters, only 2 days of her 800-year lifespan remain. She knows it, and yet she's perfectly calm. Seems she's accepted her fate. If so, I suppose there's no harm in letting her go about her business as usual. I'd not take that time away from her, if I can help it.
Talk about the curse of the raging waves.
Right now, we're looking for a way to lift the curse of the raging waves. But that's Soto's area of expertise, so I'll leave the explanation to him.
Right. This concerns a legend passed down in my family, the Kiryu clan, over generations. Oh, I should mention, this is something I've pieced together from various sources, so it may not be entirely accurate.
Ah, right.
Long ago, south of Kamishima, there was an island called Taishima. It is said that 400 years ago, it was beset by an earthquake and a tsunami in the event so catastrophic that the island sunk to the seafloor.
Taishima.
However, the truth of the matter is that it was invaded and laid waste to. Then, in the aftermath, the islanders' intense hatred coalesced into the curse of the raging waves, which manifested as a tremendous storm.
I see. 400 years ago, so this would have been toward the end of the Sengoku period, correct?
Yes, ma'am. The Honnoji incident, in which Oda Nobunaga ended his life, took place in 1582, if you'll recall. Following this event, one of my ancestors, an accomplished Onimoji by the name of Harugake Tsuchimikado, sacrificed a young woman, one of the survivors of Taishima, in order to seal away the source of the curse of the raging waves.
In Onimoji? Harukage Tsuchimikado? Wouldn't that make your ancestor a direct descendant of Abe no Saime? Sounds to me like you share a bloodline with the Onimoji elite.
Yes and no. While Harukage's powers were potent, he was never affiliated with the Bureau of Onimo. In fact, he shunned his illustrious surname early on and left the government service, preferring to uphold peace as a civilian.
Ah, so he was an eccentric and an elite. Gotcha.
Harukage's seal was not permanent, however. It would only endure for 4 centuries.
Wait, you mean...
Yeah. This was the last year of peace. Actually, the seal's already broken. Oh, sorry, that was Yumiko, my bad. I said that as Soto.
Isn't that really bad?
For now, the curse appears to be inert, but the storm could strike at any moment.
Okay, so You need to find a way to seal the curse again, is that it? Not to seal it, break it. We're here to put an end to the curse for good. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's bound to have weakened a bit after 400 years. Indeed, that seems to have been Harukage's plan, for legend tells. That he left behind instructions detailing how the curse could be lifted after 400 years had elapsed. However, the map that would have led us to these instructions has been lost. Except Avi hasn't. Oh no. It seems they were once concealed inside a model of a mummified mermaid. Yet over time the fact was forgotten. And at some point in the family's history, the object in question was sold to a foreign buyer. But if you don't have the map, then what are you gonna do? Well, we were hoping to find some clue as to the map's whereabouts here in Kamishima. But we've had no luck so far. I reckon we've hit a dead end. I see.
Seems like you're running out of time, guys. Gotta find the map and then, like, decipher it and everything. You guys don't have a whole lot of time.
Only 2 days left to live. What would it be like to greet death after living 800 years estranged from it? I can hardly imagine. It is surely beyond any mortal to understand.
Talk about the Curse of the Raging Waves?
Apparently, Wakamoto has been trying to find a way to end the curse of the raging waves himself. He told us he'd already warned the islanders about the impending danger and refused to have anything more to do with us. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I just hope that'll be the end of it, but this is one job I can't afford to foist off on anyone else, but not entirely anyway.
I feel like not gonna be much more, but let's go ahead and continue with the Curse of the Raging Waves. Okay, yeah, it's just gonna say the same thing. Gotta pick something else. Reason for visiting?
But first, before I forget. Yes? Keep our meeting today a secret. And don't let on to anyone that you know about the Curse of the Raging Waves. Okay. People will get suspicious otherwise. Even if Wakamoto tells you about it, be sure to act surprised. I figure that shouldn't be too difficult for you. You're an experienced secret keeper, after all. I don't know about that, but I'll do my best.
Okay. Talk about 800-year mortal.
Ha! I'm not immortal myself, you know.
Okay, same thing. Blah, blah, blah. So, talk about Sato.
If your lifespan is nearly at an end, that must mean you consumed the flesh of a mermaid exactly 800 years ago. Of course, you already knew that, didn't you? Not that you've been forthcoming about it. Sorry, I... Don't apologize. That just proves you know how to hold your tongue. A valuable skill when you've got a secret to keep. Mind you, the fact does put matters in a new light. Say, Soto, what events took place 800 years ago? Let's see. 8 centuries ago from the present day. That would place us midway through the 1180s, when the Heian period was coming to an end. Right around when the Ginpei War took place. Ah, of course, the Heike. Exactly. Don't you think there might be a connection?
Talk about the Heike. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
All right, next question. You wouldn't happen to know much about the Heike, would you? The Heike? Why do you ask? It actually pertains to one of the other cases we're working on, but we've got reason to believe that someone out there is using the curse of the Heike to commit murder.
Ooh, there we go. Curse of the Heike. I wonder if that's what I need to write in that box. Because that has to do with what they were trying to talk about at that moment. Interesting.
The curse of the Heike? Did you hear about those skeletal remains that turned up near here? It was all over the news. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Well, we suspect the curse of the Heike may be involved. And seeing as you were alive 800 years ago, I was hoping you might know something about the Heike that could help us. If we're right in thinking that you had ties to the Bureau of Onmyo, the timing matches up perfectly. I might have known once, but nothing's coming to me at the moment. Really? Shoot. On that note, I too have noticed a potential correlation. There is a legend that tells how Tira no Tadamori was present when the flesh of the mermaid was presented with the flesh of a mermaid at Betsuho. Perhaps that was the flesh Sato consumed to gain her immortality. Actually, I'm pretty familiar with that legend myself. And those so-called mermaids that were caught at Betsuho definitely weren't the kind that could make anyone immortal. Oh, is that so? But if you ask me, Sato here couldn't have become immortal by eating mermaid flesh. Without the use of a relic called the Tomete Bako. Now, does that ring any bells? Huh? Wait, mermaid flesh in the Tomete Bako? Oh, have you remembered something? Yes, that's it. It was one of the Heike. A man wearing a suit of armor. We were on a boat. And he had the Tomete Bako. There was mermaid flesh inside it. He wanted me to eat some of it. A warrior in armor. Could it be? So, sounds like you had ties to the Heike as well. And this man, he was the one who made you eat mermaid flesh? Yes, I remember now. What was his name? Do you remember that too? I think it was Tomo something? Tomo Shige? That's it. The man's name was Tira no Tomoshige. Tira no Shoma Tomoshige. That was the name of one of Tira no Yorimori's sons. And Yorimori himself was the son of Tadamori's official wife. So you're telling me that Tadamori's grandson forced Sato to eat mermaid flesh? What do we know about this Tira no Tomoshige anyway? Not much, aside from the fact that he was part of the clan's main lineage. History has not seen fit to record his deeds, whatever they may have been. Well, he may not have been one of the clan's famous warriors, but to think you actually knew one of the Heike. You mentioned you were in a boat. Do you recall anything else? I think we were being chased. I do not wonder at that. At the end of the Heian period, the Heike were being pursued by the full might of the Genji forces. The Genjis. I was struck by an arrow and I fell into the sea and drowned. But by that time I had already become immortal. Later I must have resurrected and washed up somewhere, along the coast, and I guess that's how I escaped. What about the Tomoshige? Or what about Tomoshige? Did he eat some of the mermaid flesh too? I'm not sure. I don't remember that part, but I don't think I encountered him again after that.
That would make sense that he's the one that was on the phone then. Because he said that they, like, oh, Osato, you don't remember me, or whatever, and stuff. But then he wanted her to get on a boat with him again. It must be that guy. He must be an immortal as well. He must have ate some of it. If you'll remember, ma'am, that curse echo I witnessed earlier held the famed blade, Nukimaru. Perhaps Tomoshige inherited the blade from Iyomori, and wielded it with the intent to avenge his clan. After all, future generations would surely have held a memorial service for a warrior of renown like Yorimori, setting his spirit to rest. Tomoshige, on the other hand, is unlikely to have received the same treatment. If so, his hatred may have persisted long after his death. Creating the curse of the Heike is a distinct possibility.
This curse sounds terrifying. I have to say I wasn't expecting a connection here. You know, Sato, it's starting to sound like you're involved in all of the incidents that have gone down in these parts over the centuries. Yeah, not by choice.
same thought. Let's keep talking about the Heike.
Anyway, I get this feeling this Tira no Tomoshige wasn't a very nice guy. This curse of his sounds even nastier. Could it really still be active after all this time? It certainly looks that way. The Heike's resentment is awfully persistent, I hear. You don't think he could have held a grudge against me, do you? Who knows? That would depend on your relationship with him back then. Oh, man.
However, it appears someone is actively wielding the curse of the Heike at present. Therefore, the targets of the curse would be decided by this individual, whoever they may be.
Another unknown, huh?
Curse of Tomoshige. A curse born from Tira no Tomoshige. Feelings of malice and resentment that lingered after the fall of the Tira clan. It kills an individual who meets the conditions by cleaving them in two. Oh, sorry, that snuck up on me. It definitely cleaves people in two. It fucking use his goddamn head off. Tarbasato?
By the way, you wouldn't happen to be concealing anything else, would you? Huh? No, It's fine. I'll not pry. Just so long as you answer my questions.
$800 immortals? Nope, it's the same thing. Talk about the Heike still?
Figuring out the origin of the curse is all well and good, but it doesn't help us solve the case. We need to track down the person who's actually using it, or it'll keep happening.
Indeed.
Hope you find them soon.
Alright, that leaves Curse of the Raging Waves.
Now, there's something I'd like you to try and remember for me. Me? But... humor me. Doesn't the story behind the Curse of the Raging Waves ring any bells? Why should it?
The girl who was sacrificed in order to seal away the curse. Wait, I think it's another weird typo or what? Let me read that again. The girl who was sacrificed in order to seal away the curse of the raging waves 4 centuries ago. Yeah, I think there's an extra 2 there. I think it's supposed to be in order to seal away the curse of the raging waves 4 centuries ago. You know what? Let me read it one more time. The girl who was sacrificed in order to seal away the curse of the raging waves 4 centuries ago. Might that not have been you, Sato Shiranami?
What?
You have said yourself that it was an Onimoji who put you in that state of deep slumber on the sea floor. Does it not seem highly probable that you were the sacrifice who has held back the curse for the past 400 years?
Oh man, You're right, that was me! I knew it. I'm sorry, I can't, no more, I can't do this anymore.
What's the matter with you? Get a hold of yourself. Oh, she's crying, aw.
Is it that painful to remember? We didn't come here to ask you to sacrifice yourself again, if that's what you're worried about.
All those years under the sea can't have been easy on her, you know. She wasn't really asleep. Her brain would still have been active. Moreover, there was a limit to how many memories the human brain can hold. I would estimate the maximum capacity to be about 100 years worth.
Are you saying she remembers being in that state under the sea?
In a sense, I presume her memory is filled with stretches of utter darkness, her view of the sea depths. Any memories from before that time have likely been pushed deep into her subconscious.
Then maybe they're not gone for good. There's a chance she'll remember more. Just need to find the right trigger. Sorry, I didn't mean to freak out like that. Took me a sec to get over the shock. Well, seems my theory about you being the sacrifice was right on the memory. Right on the money. Dang it. But it doesn't look like you'll be able to tell us too much about the past after all. Guess not. I wish I could have been more help.
Any more to think? Nope. Um, 800-year immortals or curse? Oh, let's still keep going the curse.
But, does this mean the seal broke because I woke up?
We cannot be certain of that. Perhaps it was the other way around. The seal may have broken of its own accord, releasing you from your slumber.
Either way, it's not your fault. Don't go blaming yourself for any of this. Still, if I hadn't... Listen, your sacrifice kept the curse at bay for 4 whole centuries. That's half of your extended lifespan. No one could ask more of you than that. The rest is up to Soto. Isn't that right?
Yes, but I'm counting on your help as well, man. Should I talk to Soto now? No, he's going to say the same thing. I had check mark.
Um,
800-year immortals again?
So, there's something else I'd like to ask you. Be my guest. How exactly do you deal with 800-year immortals? You sure you want to know? Huh? Since it's not going to happen to you, there's no reason for you to think about it. I thought it would be something like taking away their immortality. Unfortunately, that's downright impossible. Because your original body is long gone, you know. But then, what else can you do? You tell her, Soto.
Must I always be the one to handle these unpleasant topics? Besides, I see no point in explaining something that she is already painfully familiar with.
What do you mean?
Among the arts we psychics wield is a spell that can place even an immortal into a state of apparent death. Once that is done, they can simply be sealed in an underground vault for the rest of their days. So they kind of bury them alive, is what that sounds like to me. That's how I'm interpreting that.
Wait, you mean it's the same thing that happened to me?
Essentially, yes. Except that in your case, it was for the purpose of making you a sacrifice. And you woke up before your lifespan came to an end.
Yikes. Mind you, neither I nor Soto has ever actually done this to anyone. Though I did hear a rumor that someone was dealt with that way a few decades back.
Keep talking about the immortals?
Of course, there have been 800-year immortals who sought ways to become mortal again in the past. But they all failed. Even if they managed to track down the mermaid who gave them their immortality, it was no good. That's why more than a few immortals have ended up living out their long lives in religious seclusion.
Okay, it seems like it was a little bit of a dead end. Let's try the Raging Waves again.
So any chance you've remembered something about the Curse of the Raging Waves? Did that Onimoji Harukage Tsuchimikado happen to tell you how it could be lifted? I'm sorry. All that's come back to me is the fact that I was sacrificed. I don't remember the Onimoji at all. What kind of person he was or anything. The most I can remember is that I think he said something about the curse being lifted after 400 years. That's all, huh? Well, be sure to let us know if you remember anything else that could help us break the curse. I will.
Okay, one option left.
Speaking of immortals, there's something else I had to ask you. Yes? Now, I'm not certain about this, but I get the feeling that there's another 800-year immortal on Kamishima right now. What? Any idea who it might be? No, I don't have a clue. Are you sure about that? Because if there is another immortal here, I'll find them eventually, you know. Even if I have to scour the island end to end. Does that change your answer? No, I really don't know who it could be. All right, if you say so. Guess this means I'll have to search the island after all, as if I didn't have enough to deal with. Well, I'd say that about covers everything. We've talked your ear off long enough. It must be confusing, all this talk of the past. We'll not trouble you any further. Right, thank you. Still, give it a bit of time and something else might come back to you. If it does, please let us know. We'll be visiting the island again real soon, so you should have a chance. Will do. I'll be going then. So, what? She's given us much to ponder. To think we'd encounter a living witness. I'd never have dreamt it possible. Sure, it was fascinating, but I can't say it did us much good, as far as our investigation is concerned. Besides, she's still hiding something, that one. You think so, ma'am? I do. In fact, I'd bet on it. She might even be up to something. But our primary objective here is to lift the curse of the raging waves. We don't need to start digging into anything else without good reason. On that note, do you really intend to search the island for this other 800-year immortal? Yeah, I figured we might as well look into that too while we're here. Understood. I wonder who it could be. No, it's the storyteller guy. Hello! My apologies for the interruption, but there is an important matter I wish to discuss with you. Now then, I believe you have been privy to quite the interesting development. As Yumiko Shiki would tell it, Sato Shiranami is not the only 800-year immortal on Kameshima. And so I would pose you a question. There is indeed one more individual on Kameshima who has made a miraculous return from the dead. You have borne witness to the death and revival of this individual a total of 2 times. I have borne witness to the death and revival of this individual a total of 2 times. I think it's Kikuko, because her body was gone that one time. We found her body, and then Sato goes there, and Kikuko's body was gone. I don't know, I'm just randomly kind of saying that, but... maybe? A total of 2 times. With this in mind, allow me to ask, who is the 800-year immortal on Kameshima? Tell me their name. Okay, let me look at everybody real quick. Azumi... Mare... I mean, Yuza... I mean, he was saved, but I don't think we saw him come back. I mean, Sato, it can't be Sato, it's got to be someone else. Tsukasa, wow. Shotaro. This is who I think it is. I think it's Kikuko. Maybe not. Chie. Miko. Soto. I'm trying to think of who we've seen die. I mean, you said we've seen somebody come back. Who was that? The only person I think is Kikuko, because at one point, like I said, we come up on like this where Kikuko's usually hanging out with a port, and she was laying dead on the ground. And then as Sato, we end up there, and Kikuko's body's not there, but there is a pool of blood, which made me think that maybe she got up after that, which would make her an immortal, I guess. Cersei, Shinkawa, Sobe. I think we're gonna try Kikuko. Susui. Kikuko Susui. Let's see if I can remember the spelling of that. Kikuko Susui. Nope. Ah, God. I'm afraid that isn't correct. Kikuko Susui is not the person you seek.
Now, would you answer once more for me? Someone we've seen come back. Is it Yuza? The only reason why I would say Yuza is because Yuza, when we were diving as Yuza, we saw a, what are they called? A Tomokazuki. And usually a Tomokazuki, when you take their hand, like, takes you under and kills you, but we came back up shortly afterwards. And then we also saw Hayabe's ghost while we were down there, and I don't know, I feel like that's a really weak one. But since Yuza gets his head chopped off, it makes me think that, like, I don't know, maybe he comes back from that. I don't know, but it says we've seen them come back twice. What is he talking about? There's indeed one more individual on Kamishima who has made a miraculous return from the dead. We have borne witness to the death and revival of this individual a total of 2 times. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Who have we seen? Dude, I guess I'll try Yuza. I feel like it's kind of a weak connection, but maybe. But I don't remember seeing him come back to life. It's got to be one of those things where, that's what I was trying to think with Kikuko. It's like, well, we didn't like see it happen, but it felt like it was implied. I don't know. I'll try Yuza, I guess. Can I just say Yuza, or do I have to type in Minakuchi? Minakuchi. Is that how I'm so bad at spelling. Minakuchi. Yeah. Maybe? Oh! It is Yuza. Okay. So maybe I'm right about it was the diving things. Maybe he did die and come back, but it didn't like tell us that explicitly. Okay. Cool. I guess I figured it out. Every time Yuza ran out of oxygen while diving, he suffocated to death in the ocean depths. However, following his demise, he returned to life and was able to continue where he had left off. Right, okay, so yeah, I was right. It would normally be highly unusual for someone to reach a diver rank of 7 on their first outing. I feel like I should have got a higher diver rank now, so that wouldn't have been 7. Such a feat would be difficult indeed unless one was unburdened by the fear of failure or the fear of death. It was this knowledge of his own immortality that led him to displaying such an uncanny degree of confidence. As you may have suspected, Yuza Minakuchi became an 800-year immortal 5 years ago when he was saved by a mermaid. In truth, help arrived too late that fateful day, and it became the first time he lost his life. I wonder what light this new information will cast on events going forward. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. Wow. So that must be the piece of information that we need here then, is that it's either like 800-year immortal or something about Yuza. Because they like run away from Yuza after his head falls. Dude, that's wild. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to continue, dude. I don't think I can stop it here. I'm very hungry for lunch, but I'm gonna have to wait. Maybe I'll grab a snack real quick. But first, we're gonna take a bio break really quick, because I definitely need that. So, just hold on, and we will be right back with some more soon. Get through at least another section of the story, if not maybe to the end, I guess. It kind of feels like it's kind of coming up to a climax here. I'm really wondering if we should do any more underwater gathering, because it's still color. Let's maybe try to get a few more points or something. Sorry if this feels like filler content to anybody. But it seems like it's now become a part of it. Alright, dive. I wonder if we get like high enough rank if maybe we see something else, because we've already had 2 visions down here. Let's see. Sweet. Thought I could get close enough. Let's try going this way. Oh, damn it. Wasted some oxygen. Trying to go for the multiplier bonus that uses Grandma told us about. Uh-oh. Turn to the boat and don't die. Okay, now we're good. My level ups have been kicking in. Bonus. Nice, to have a rank up. Alright, so, let's go with gathering, maybe? So we can gather stuff faster. I don't think this will take too long. We could probably get all the way to 12. We got 4 more levels. Boom, 2 hits now. Nice, got lucky on that one. I'll go this way. Ooh, we're getting close. Not quite though. Boom. Boom. Hey, what's up, Loki? Maybe I will need that detection thing. I'll do that one next. Come on, get a little closer. Use off. Alright, gotta go back up. Lucky dog, what are you doing, buddy? Boom, boom. There we go, half a level there. Couple urchins over there. Like I haven't gone over here much. Maybe find some good stuff over here, maybe. Look at this. Nah, it's just a regular one. It just happened to be yellow. Anything cool down here? Maybe an abalone. Using a lot of swimming and not gonna get much multiplier this run. Oh shoot. My foot is caught. Because I went into that crack? I've never had that happen before. What the fuck? I thought we were gonna die again. Alright, heading back. been really scary to get caught like that, dude. I'd piss myself. Alright, yeah, we need to do more combos. There's a bunch right here, sweet. Wham. Bam. Thank ya. Ma'am. Nice. Couple urchins over here. That's 2 hits. Could be pushing it. Let's go. Ooh, it might be close. Come on, Yuza. Just get, you're right there at the surface. Just breathe, boy. Alright, how we do? Boom, boom. Not bad. Another level up. Alright, we need searching so I can find more. 9. We're trying to get to 12. I think that's how much Kikuko said was required for something in the story. These. Oh shoot. Oh, break free. Use it. Oh gosh, I think we should probably just get back to the boat now. Oh god. How does that happen? Oh god, don't die, don't die. I think it's so funny that he's that close to the surface and he doesn't just go straight up. Sweet, still got a bonus. Nice, making good progress. Good amount over here. Let's try that. Got it. Nice new record. Big old abalone. All right, return to the boat. The abalone should help. Need a good multiplier on that. It's like if you get a lot of stuff and then like at least one abalone, hopefully that'll be like really good. $869 sounds pretty good to me. Rank up. All right. Maybe swimming means you can swim faster and return to the boat faster. You'll have an easier time gathering sea creatures, or searching means you can detect sea creatures from further away. I feel like the searching's pretty good now, so maybe swimming for this one, then we'll do searching again, because I don't think the gathering's that big a deal. Well, it could save me some oxygen, I guess, with less hits, but... I think maybe the swimming will also make it so I just use less oxygen swimming. Wasn't paying enough attention, so I can't really tell if that's true. Remember Yuza's grandmother saying if you see starfish, then it's going to be an empty area. Wow, there's a ton of stuff over there, wherever that is. Do I have to go around this? Is that abalone? I think it might be. Yep. Oh, God. Damn it, every time I come over here. Oh man, it's another abalone. I gotta return the boat. I think I'll be kind of way too close. Oh gosh, come on. Damn, no multiplier. Really kills. Guess I got the abalone, made it like something. Where was all the abalone? It was over there. Let's go this direction. Quite a bit over here. Is that abalone? Yerp. Nice, and I got a lucky shot on it. Yes. Good job, user. Yeah, hopefully we won't get our foot fucking caught. Another abalone. Don't mind if I do. Dude, yes, so many abalone. That's pretty good. Dude, there's tons of them over here. Like, this is the spot. Oh, what's that? A lobster? Can I get him? Oh, we're so close. Oh, yeah, we got him. Get out of here. Don't die, don't die. We had to get that lobster. Usually you don't understand. It looks like we're good. Cut it very close, though. How was that? And like them apples. Holy crap, it's gonna be so many points. 2,546. Yes! Master diver. I feel like I want swimming now because I think, or no, we'll do gathering so we can get those abalones faster because I think that is kind of killing me now. Oh, sweet, we went up 2 levels. Are we already at 12? Fuck yeah, dude. Let's just keep going, shall we? Searching or swimming? So let's go searching up. Nice, even a little bit into 12. Okay, we got local delicacy hall, reach a high score of 2,000 points. Fish bonanza, reach a score of with 1,000. Rare delicacy, catch a Issei lobster. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, I gotta go back to where all that abalone was for show, though. Single shot. There, abalone. Come on, we're getting so close. Drift a little bit closer, my dude. Damn it. Alright, there's another one. Oh, yeah. Oh, another lobster. You're kidding me. Hell yeah. Dude, yeah, it's gonna help a lot. down here? Do we have something good? There's another abalone. Maybe we can get to it. Alright, now we gotta get the hell out of here. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, cool. It doesn't matter. It's just like you so many you have to do. It doesn't matter how far you are. Alright, that's pretty good. Nice, got over 2,000 again. Freaking master. Alright, let's do swimming. Good way through 13 as well. Hell yeah, we need a couple more halls like that, dude. That area is full of them. Oh, look, there's a bunch of little guys here. We can pick these up along the way. Get us that multiplier. Sweet, now one right here. Really, it's turning out that the higher our level, the more we can find these abalone. I wonder if they spawn more the higher level you are. It still takes 3 hits on those guys, though. If I can find another lobster, that'd be sick. But I'll take more abalone. Alright, let's do it. Hopefully that'll get us at least 14. Climbing the ranks pretty quickly. Nice, you've got the bonus. Yeah. Alright, so this time, maybe searching so we can see farther away. Maybe there's even better groups of stuff down there. We just need to be able to search for them. Ooh, almost got a 15 from that one too. Could have gotten 2 levels up. I really can see pretty far now. I still think the area that I've been going to is the best place to go. Oh, come on, get close enough. Oh, a lobster. Oh, single shot him as well. Hell yeah. Oh man, maybe this time they took away all my abalone. Yeah, there ain't much going on here this time. Just about harvested it all. Come on. There we go. Alright, we gotta go. Maybe that'll be enough to push me to the next level. Get that multiplier, come on. Damn, the multiplier. Still, that lobster helps out. Okay, let's see. I feel like it's the gathering. I feel like that's what's getting me a lot. So let's do the gathering maxed out. We'll be able to one-shot some of those abalone or something. Maybe then I should revisit the Kazuki, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if the story would care if we did that or not. Let's see. This area's got a lot. What? My gathering is like maxed out. It's still making me do 2 shots on those guys. Let's try going over here. I might get some abalone. Yeah, there's one. If I get abalone and a multiplier, it's pretty darn good. Yeah, 2 hits, not bad. Oh, there's a question mark. Oh, it's 2 question marks. Whoa, what the fuck is that? Okay, we broke a seal. Whoa, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, I guess the higher level you get, the more, like, story things are under here. Okay. That confirms that. Nice, get the multiplier. Ooh, almost 16. Okay, well, we know we gotta keep going then. This was a good idea after all. Okay, where was that other question mark, though? Holy crap, there's so much stuff over here. Yeah, the question mark was this way. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, sweet. It's just another sticker. But that other thing, though, that was story related. Okay. Dude, so many abalone. Maybe I can grab one more. Alright, we'll go. Yeah, we're good. We got this. We got this. Guess I need to, like, look around even more to see if there's more story stuff, because it seems like maybe I need to up my searching next time so I can see those question marks from farther away. Alright, I got one more level. Ooh, and we're almost there. And we got our mockingbird. Hell yeah. I guess we can open the updates page. Dude, there's still so many I don't have. Where would they be? I feel like I look for them all the time. Yo, what's up? Alright, let's see. We haven't swam in this way in a while, so maybe there's going to be question marks popping up. As long as I find a few abalone, I think I should get that final level. And once we're max level, we don't have to worry about gathering anything anymore. We just gotta search around. There's an abalone. Oh god, there she is, Hayase. Or no, maybe that's not Hayase, maybe that's one of the other ones. Could be, I guess it wouldn't be Sobe, it'd be the final one? Rope will not reach. Okay, interesting. Maybe that's the one that saved Yuzo when he was a kid. There's no question marks around. Okay, that should give us our final level. Got the bonus. Boom. Alright, we are a master diver. Master diver, reach rank 17. Hell yeah, we got it. Alright, now we're just searching around. Which way to search? Let's go this direction. see any question marks. Oh, shit. Come on, I thought you were a master diver. Quit getting caught on shit, Yuza. Oh, gosh, just there to waste a bunch of freaking oxygen. I figured there'd be another story thing somewhere. Now that I'm max rank. I'm grabbing abalone while I'm down here. Maybe I need to go more that way next time. Where the Tomo the Kazuki was. How far down there I can swim. Oh, whoa, we're getting sucked down this time. We die? I guess we must die. Yeah, die fail him. So we should not be going to where the Tomo Kazuki is. Alright, noted. Let's go. Okay, where? My bearings. Yeah, I wanted to go this way this time. Oh, look at this. Little Mr. Lobster guy. Another lobster? Oh, dude. Double lobsters. We don't even need the points, but we're getting them. Yeah, I assumed the rope wouldn't go that far. I think maybe we've seen everything there is to see down here then. I'm not sure. Fires of overreach. Yeah, I'm saying we've pretty much explored all the length of the rope will give us. Okay, well maybe when we leave this activity it will actually go like gray or whatever. Or sepia. Here's 2 lobsters, bro. Where you can get tonight? You can still rank up beyond that, huh? You just don't get any extra stuff for it. Alright, stop diving, I guess. Return to the story chart. Yep, it did. Okay, cool. Nice. So we have officially done everything we can there. Okay. Now, tragedy of Kamishima. Mysterious deaths continue to occur amongst the island's residents. It is not long before the same tragedy befalls Yuza. Azumi and the others are left helpless and overwhelmed by grief. Don't worry, apparently Yuza's gonna be fine as long as, I guess I don't know how that works, but he's immortal, so if something happens. Damn it, what the hell's going on? What the fuck happened to you, Yuza? How could you just die like that, out of nowhere? You managed to live through the disaster 5 years ago just to die like this? Still, the whole island turned on you, blamed your mom for everything. They rejected you even when you said you wanted to become an Ama diver. What the hell did you ever do to deserve that? But you never once complained, just kept going like it was nothing. You did everything right. Someone like you deserves so much better. You deserve to be happy, damn it. I would have done anything to make that happen. And yet I couldn't do a damn thing. I'm sorry. I'm so damn sorry, Yuza. This shouldn't have been the way for you to go. How could the gods think this is fair? How?
Hey, Tsukasa? Sorry, I know this is a terrible time, but there's something important I need to tell you. Yeah, go ahead. There aren't many people around here, so it's nothing like the chaos in town. It's so quiet here. It almost feels like the whole nightmare earlier was just a dream. If only that were true. Compared to how shaken Azumi is, Tsukasa seems rather calm given the situation. She's probably wondering why I'm staying so composed right now too. Try to stay calm and listen, okay? I spoke to Mr. Wakamuda earlier. Apparently, this Unkaku Dono person might actually be your father. Huh? Wait, what? Wait. Are you serious? You're saying Pa Yamashina is Unkaku Dono? That's what he said. Not sure if it's true or not. But Mr. Wakamuda's already made up his mind. He's convinced that makes you the assassin. If he finds you, you know or who knows what he'll do. Huh? That's crazy talk. Me, an assassin? Come on! That makes no sense. I know, I don't believe it either. That's why we need to find the real assassin as soon as possible. Yeah, but easier said than done. I have to find the assassin quickly, and let them know I'll surrender. Every second I wait, more people are dying. But I can't tell Tsukasa or Azumi about my plans to surrender. They'll just try to stop me. Sato, Suyu's gone and so is Yuza. Yeah, I never thought it would come to this. I'm scared. What are we supposed to do now? I didn't manage to find out any more about the Curse of the Raging Waves, but right now we have to find the assassin. Earlier, down by the bay, I saw the curse shadow again, as well as someone running away. Wait, the shadow. Sorry, I need to check something curse-related real quick. The curse? Oh, right. Earlier I know I can check with the hand mirror to make sure the shadow isn't nearby.
So you got the mirror. And you just do the spin move. Make sure it's not behind Tsukasa anywhere. She's fine. Keep spinning.
Ah, damn it! What was it? I can't remember. Whoa, don't scare me like that. Tsukasa, what's the matter? I guess the shock has made me forget. Right before it happened, Yuza realized something important, but I'm blanking on it now. Huh? Something important? Yeah, Yuza said he figured out the condition that the curse needed to affect someone. I swear he said something about people being marked or something, but I can't really remember. He was just about to say who the culprit was too, and then, well, that happened to him. Marked? I can't remember. Just thinking about that moment's making me sick. Oh no, Tsukasa, it's okay. Don't force yourself to remember. I won't, but still, I do remember one thing he said. He thought that the curse could only target women from the island, but now that he was targeted... Oh, hold on a second. I think I see what you're getting at. Sato? Did you figure something out? Could the curse be using this as a marker?
Oh, that's what it was, as a marker. Well, we have a profile on the curse now, right? It is the Hike, Curse of the Hike or something like that. What was it called? There it is. Feelings of malice and resentment that lingering after the fall of the Terror Clan. It kills an individual who meets the conditions by cleaving them in two. Yeah, but what's the condition? The marker. The marker. Oh man, what the marker? Nothing's coming to me. Kills an individual who meets the conditions by cleaving them in two, but we never learn the conditions, and there's nothing more on the story map for us to do. Oh my freaking goodness gracious, dude. Cursed. I feel like this is where we talk to Kikuko. Start from a Kikuko conversation. There we go. Because now I have, I'm a higher level diver, so I think there's something she says about divers in here. So Kikuko's back. I want to try talking to her again? Yeah, let's give it a shot. By now, I have my fill of shady rumors for the day, okay? If you want to talk, let's talk about something fun instead. Got any ideas, Yuza? Well, how about this? The boxes. Those boxes we have used now. Delivery everyone expecting. Yep. Kamishima merch. Hot off the presses. This is what she talks about the mirrors. Thassa, what do we have this time? You want to know? I'll bet Azami's keen to find out. He's always wearing that t-shirt. Sure am. We talk about how Tsukasa made the mascot at some point. The mirror. Mirrors are a pretty prominent symbol of protection for sailors. Comes with the hope the sea will be as smooth as glass, I guess. There are reasons where mirrors are used, offerings to the sea god. Oh, that's cool. People living on the island surrounded by the sea, I can see why mirrors are seen as symbols of good fortune. Small to fit in the pocket too, cute and practical. Wow, you really thought of everything, huh? I've been handing these out to all the divers around the island since yesterday. Oh, is this the hint then? She's been handing them out to Ama divers since yesterday. Is that the marker then? It's just you have a mirror? Maybe that's what it is. It's just hand mirror. Because if she's been handing them out and all the Ama divers are dying, but then Yuza also dies, it's because Yuza also has a mirror. Right? So maybe that's what the whole thing is. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to write there. But I mean, that doesn't really help because apparently that's just ending number 1. But maybe if we type that in there, it'll break something loose and we'll get another ending. I don't know. That's I'm starting to have a little hope now. She's been handing them out because that's a piece of information right there. Told them it's a good, it was a charm and that they should hang on to it for good luck. I don't know if it's okay to count you as a diver given what happened earlier. Or does he get one? I guess maybe that's the whole thing about that I'm coming here for about the level. It really matters, I got plenty, so take... Oh no, she does say go ahead and take one, okay. So we do get a hand mirror as Yuza, okay. Well, if it was the mirror, then why does an Azami die? If that's true. Yeah, and then she even says that his grandma got one. That's something. Missing Ama divers. I don't think that matters. We'll click through it. I swear at one point she talks about our diver rank. Blah 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 blah. We'll keep talking about the missing divers, I guess. Okay, that's it. Underwater gathering tips. Maybe it's in here. Basically asking me to give away company secrets for free. Just thought it'd be helpful. Basics. How about then? Your foot can get caught in the rocks while you're swimming. You should always stay aware of your surroundings. Being too focused on the catch can get you in trouble. That makes sense. Swim hard enough, you should be able to free yourself. Yeah, I've done that quite a few times. Keep going with the tips. That's all she's got for now. Tracking to see you. Just working as an Ama diver. I was supposed to stay at the sea. No one was paying attention to that. I took the boat, went ashore, and didn't end up with much of a show for it. Become an Ama diver. It's a shame you couldn't become one with that enthusiasm. Time's not the best right now. It's okay. Information give me is enough. Sorry, I hope you went things that down okay. Okay, working as an Alma diver still. By the way, using practice, did you manage to get them today? Okay, this is what we're talking about, I think. Have to be able to do most things comfortably, I think. For sure, I can tell you've improved a lot just from the way you carry yourself. You must have a real talent for diving if you were able to improve that much in just one day. It's pretty impressive you can tell all that just from looking at them. Hey, I thought of a way I can show you my support. If you manage to get a high score of 2,000 points in one diving session, which I did, I'll give you a special prize. What's the special prize? Oh, isn't that great, Yuza? What was your high score today again? Let's see. 2,546 points. Here it is. Oh, wow, you really did it. I sure did. That's amazing, Yuza. Guess you've earned yourself a prize. Here you go, a rare bird sticker I found while diving the other day. Ah, it's just a bird sticker. That's still cool, but god damn it. I got another bird sticker. Midsummer Mockingbird Gathering. Alright. Not super enthused about that, but that's cool. You lucky dog. I didn't think you knew a Mockingbird sticker so soon. Looks like a rare one, too. Oh, really nice. Okay, so I guess it was worth it to come back to get the sticker. Just working as an Alma diver. Once you become a proper Alma diver, I'll tell you to get diving spots I know. Curse of the Raging Waves. Nope, never heard of it. What is it? You tell her about it. Wait, so you mean the disaster 5 years ago was caused by a curse? So it seems. Kind of trying to pass as a cult tribe. Don't tell me you believe that rubbish. But, well, it did seem pretty unbelievable. The police obviously feeding a lot of nonsense. I don't know if you two are aware, but there are rumors into a really shady sorcerer recently. Sorcerer? Yeah, some sort of miracle worker in Tokyo. It's probably he's going about curses and stuff. Shotaro did say he's been behaving weird lately. Even Shotaro thinks so. That's got to be it. So it's just a hoax. Waves. Okay, that was all for that. Kamishimaru. Wondering about for a while. Yeah. Kamishimaru. This is just when we talk about how Tsukasa is the one that drew it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go after this. I'm gonna go and write hand mirror in the marker thing because she gave all of them hand mirrors. So it's just the thing is that it's disqualifying in a way because Azumi doesn't get attacked. I mean, I guess there's still time or whatever. And we talk about the foreigners. And we talk about the foreigners again. And then we can end. Okay. And at this point, do I have to finish out the chapter to keep the sticker? Or do I just have the sticker? Just return to sorry, in any complete chapters must restart from the beginning. I'm just gonna go back. Okay, we still got to keep the sticker. Oh, finally got the guy that's connected to all those guys. He's got all his friends. We're getting pretty close. Well, we're more than halfway, I think. Okay, let's try. We're gonna try typing in hand mirror. See if that gets us what we want. Think, talk. Talk. Check something solid real quick. Now, is there something in here? I think I did check this earlier. I don't know, fucking Gemini kept talking about stupid ass fucking. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Just trying to do this. keep doing this until at some point Sarkasa's like, oh gosh. It's like, must be when I look at a specific place. Oh, don't scream me like that. Sarkasa, what's the matter? Okay, and she's talking about the marker, and then it'll come up. Okay, hand mirror.
A hand mirror?
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's it! The Kamishimaru hand mirror! It's gotta be that! I knew it! Yuza took that mirror out of his pocket right before it happened. He lifted it up and to about his neck, and then his head was chopped off. And when I was attacked, I had the hand mirror in my jacket pocket too.
That's gotta be it. Didn't they say those hand mirrors were handed out to everyone on the island?
Whoa, Azumi! You're feeling okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry you had to see me like that. But if you were this close to finding out who did this, then this is no time to be moping around. First things first. If either of you still have that mirror, get rid of it now.
Oh, good point.
So, Sato, you figured it out, haven't you? The one behind this curse?
The assassin who used the curse to kill so many.
I know who it is, I'm not sure yet. I mean, I have a thought because of how we found out that thing. Well, who gave everybody the hand mirrors? Was that on purpose? Because they are the one that's trying to kill everyone? I'm gonna say probably.
Yeah, it's gotta be the person who gave out the hand mirrors, so...
Exactly. Okay. That's where I was thinking. That's where my head was at. So it was Kikuko.
It has to be Kikuko, right?
You're saying she never actually died?
Yeah, because her body was missing. Exactly.
Wait, you're saying Kikuko was killed too?
Right, because Sato didn't see it. See? I was right. That was a fucking clue. Yeah, we saw her lying in a pool of blood by the jetty. That's why it freaking telegraphs us so hard.
You did? I was just there earlier. I remember seeing a large blood stain, but no body.
Really? I guess someone must have moved her.
In all this chaos, who's got time to move a body with everyone panicking like this? Where would they even move her? There are so many dead, we barely have the time or space to lay folks down and cover them up.
That's true. Then maybe she never actually died. Managed to get up and walk off on her own.
But if Kikuko's the assassin, why would she let herself get hit by the curse attack? Wait, if she managed to get up from the death, I mean, I doubt it, but maybe she's immortal like you, Sato. What? No way!
Huh? What was that? You said that so casually, but I could have sworn you just said Sato is immortal?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but yeah, that's basically what it boils down to.
Huh, so that's what happened earlier. That explains what everyone was talking about.
Still, I don't think there are others like me out there. You think so? Is it really that rare? I don't really have any frame of reference. I have another theory that's more likely. Azumi, did you get a good look at Kikuko's wounds?
I mean, not really. It was pretty dark out and we were kind of panicking.
Wait, are you saying maybe she wasn't actually hurt at all? The most likely explanation is that she got up after faking her death. Maybe she faked being a victim using fake blood or something to avoid suspicion. So she waited for others to see her and then just slipped away in the confusion.
No shit.
Oh? Guess the cat's out of the bag. Huh?
Kikuko, you really are still alive.
Yep. Hate to break it to you, but I ain't immortal or anything fancy like that. Just fake blood is all. I was hiding up in the lighthouse, but then I heard you all talking, so I figured I may as well come out. Too bad you figured it all out. There really is no turning back for me now. Sato, I was told to bring you in, even if it means killing every last person on the island. It's the shadow!
Doesn't matter. We already tossed those damn mirrors. The curse can't touch us now.
Just so you know, I've got your friends Tsukasa Awao marked even now. You're the one person I cannot forgive. Huh? I am? How? The cursed target wasn't just tied to hand mirrors?
She's just bluffing. Sato, get behind me. I'm not letting her take you.
It's pointless. Disobey me, and Tsukasa will be first to die.
I mean, all I can do is surrender, right? Surrender?
No, I surrender. I'll go with you quietly. What?
Sato, what are you saying? Now is not the time to be joking.
I know. I've made up my mind. I can't let anyone else get killed because of me. There's no resisting this curse. It's too strong. Sato, no! Good. Smart choice. Otherwise, everyone on the island would have perished. Kikuko, why are you doing this? You grew up here too. Does this place mean nothing to you? Yeah, guess I have some feelings for this place. But if I didn't sever those ties, my world would never change.
What the hell are you talking about?
He is the only one who ever sparked a change in my miserable existence for a life. Now he'll finally acknowledge me. I'll become who I was meant to be. That's your reason for all this? This island never cared about people. Always just blamed everything on curses. Surely you will all understand wanting to destroy this shithole. I just took up the reins. Someone needed to break the cycle. Now I can finally start living my own life, free from all that bullshit. Anyway, we need to get moving. There's a boat waiting out back. If you follow us, I'll kill Tsukasa. Do yourselves a favor and stay right there, okay? Thank you. Both of you, please. Don't try to follow. It's too dangerous.
God damn it!
No, Sato!
Okay, fucking finally broke free and made some progress. I just had to remember the mirror thing. I still am confused because Azumi and Tsukasa still had mirrors, but I mean, they did throw them away in that scene, so it kind of gets addressed, but man, that was fucking obtuse, wasn't it?
Unfortunately.
Oh, this is
Inner thought, hold on. I can't have people that know my identity just walking away, especially not you, Tsukasa.
Oh no, she's gonna kill him anyways. And especially not Tsukasa. Why is that? There's something about Tsukasa, dude. She's got some secret or something. The following day, the bodies of Azumi, Kumoi, and Tsukasa Awao were found beneath the lighthouse, collapsed together in a lifeless heap. Azumi, who'd been helping search for the curse's mark, tried to take Tsukasa's place, but ended up caught in the curse instead. But the tragedy that struck Kamishima didn't end there. Right after the assassin left Kamishima with Sato Shiranami, a new calamity followed. Oh yeah, the Curse of the Raging Waves. A violent storm, born of the Curse of the Raging Waves, erupted in the seas around the island. As expected, the curse could not be sealed away by the bronze mirror alone. Ferocious winds and towering waves pounded the island for 3 days and nights, leaving devastation in their wake. Most islanders who had tried to flee the tragedy by boat that night were lost to the storm, and remain missing to this day. Among them was the assassin behind the incident. So even Kikuko died? And Sato Shiranami, who went along with her. She was never to be seen again. The Tragedy of Kamishima, ending number 1. Alright, finally got to the actual ending. Okay, cool. So we've got some progress here. Maybe now something will open up on the story screen. I'm probably going to have to save it for next week because we spent way too much time me getting upset trying to figure out something as simple as it was the hand mirror. I can't believe I didn't see that earlier. I mean, we did find that thing under the water. I bet that's got to come up. That we, like, destroyed that chain as Yuza. That's something. And I got that Mockingbird sticker. That was cool. Alright, just ordered some lunch. I'll go pick that up here in a minute. Okay. Maybe I'll get to figure out all that cool meta stuff a little bit more myself. I mean, I kind of know some of it now. Because freaking Gemini spoiled some of that for me. You have my heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. And so, the affair surrounding Kamishima has reached one of its possible conclusions. Sadly, it seems neither Yuza Minakuchi nor Sato Shiranami were able to achieve their goals. To avoid arriving at this particular outcome, please continue progressing through the story chart. After all, you came here for that very purpose, did you not? Oh my, are you perhaps still unsure of who you are? No need to worry. I'm confident you'll remember in time. You're just missing a few key pieces. As you travel along the story chart and shape what happens, perhaps you'll remember your part in this. Be sure to think on it as you move forward. Well then, I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Farewell for now. And based on that, like the Holy Finder symbol, it's almost like we're the Tamakazuki, but I don't think that's how that works. Oh, thank freaking Christ, we got new fucking options. Oh my god, thank you, game. So I did just have to figure out that one thing, and for the fucking life of Gemini, it could not fucking give me the right hint. Oh my gosh. Crazy. It must be that there's no article out there that like lays it out like clean enough for the AI to like interpret, because gosh, this is like some pretty crazy stuff. Maybe it's just like most people think that I should have just figured it out. Like, because it wasn't that hard to figure out. I can't believe I couldn't think of that. The mark was the mirror. I don't know. Just calling it a mark is weird, I think. And I don't really understand why the mirror was the mark, especially if they threw away the mirrors. And yet, they still died. So, I guess because they had the mirror, Kikuko had already marked them. So it was too late. I guess that's what Kikuko's like what she says there means, I guess. Okay, let's see. So, before I call it a stream, let me look at this. So we're going from the Tamakazuki to Vision of the Future, and then that actually leads to this one we've already done of Memories of Last Summer. Vision of the Future. Because this is us actually not telling Azami about the Tamakazuki, I think. That's how we got to this before. That's a weird thing that they plugged that in right there. And then the time to meet up, going to accepted fate. Time to meet up was when we found out that his grandmother died. Right? Because it was the meeting up was meeting up with Suyu. So it's weird that that is after that. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out next week, because I gotta go get something to eat, dude. Been streaming for 4.5 hours. All right, man. I might trim some of me getting frustrated out of the YouTube video for this, because oh my god, I'll probably get frustrated watching that back. All right. Anyway, thanks to anybody who came to hang out and try to see this story through with me. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully you find this as interesting as I do, because I do find this very interesting. I do think it's very interesting that they do some metagame stuff too. I think that is kind of cool. But I just want to be able to figure that stuff out myself and not have to have stupid guides online and stuff. So hopefully I can kind of figure out how that stuff's supposed to tie in next week as we encounter that. So we're going to be going on with Yuza next week, which will be interesting. We now know that there's more with Arnov that we can do, which makes sense because, God, that's such a short one. There's got to be more with Yumiko as well. There's got to be stuff in here, you know? And there's like a space here and here, so maybe there's more stories there. Maybe even something in here, who knows? But yeah, we'll find that out next week. So I'm going to go get something to eat. So yeah, once again, thanks everybody for coming by and checking out the stream today. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next Sunday to continue on with this crazy mystery. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.